This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, and welcome back to the Fast Break podcast right here on MVP. I'm joined as I always am, little out of order. I'm here with my co-host, Dave Oster. Dave, how are we doing on this beautiful Sunday evening?
Doing amazing. We are so close to the NBA draft.
So close.
We just finished with the NBA Finals. Could not be a better time of the year.
I don't know what you're talking about. The draft is the only thing happening. That's coming up. I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing else in the NBA happened last night, I believe. I believe that it was all quiet on the Western Front, Dave. Mm-hmm. Nothing happened.
New York survived somehow. There's been
Dave,
some fires, some riots.
Dave, I know what you're talking about. We're getting ready for Game 6 of the analytical finals between the Cavs and Thunder. Thunder tied it up to they're 3-2 down on the Cavs in the analytical finals. Game 6 is coming up this week.
That's a great call out.
Game 6 is coming up this week. Nothing else in the world matters, right? Nothing else but the draft. But Dave, we've got our mock draft coming up today. Last one, guys. This is new for us. I say it's new for us because usually you and I squeak one out the week of the draft.
Way to make that sound.
What, squeak one out? It's like a little fart. Like we just lean to the side, squeak out a little mock draft. But we're not doing that this year. We're not doing that. This is the last one that you guys will get. Yes, it has trades, so get ready for that as well. We're also going to do something a little bit different here. Go ahead. But maybe what?
Maybe we'll just squeak in like a bold big board right before, just in case you're curious about. Maybe some of these guys on our list are maybe a little different. So maybe we want to have a big board that comes out just before the draft. Maybe you guys might be interested in that. Let us know.
Maybe I do what I've done before, and I drop like a full 2-round mock on Twitter, just graphics. I've done that before. Just, hey, this is it. This is what I think. This is it. This is the draft. Hold me to it.
I'm not going to do a 2-round mock because I'm not going to try to sneak in international.
You want to make up names again?
It had been done. International politicians were drafted every year by me in the second round. I think once in the first round.
Fictional characters have been drafted by.
Well, there was also there was one totally fictional. There was one former player from the 1980s. I drafted. You get fun with it, when you're digging that deep sometimes.
Hey, in this draft, I mean, the names that we could be hearing at the end of the first round might even
enough guys pulled out thanks to NIL money. We're getting desperate.
Luigi's going to go to Villanova. Hova.
It was all negotiating tactics, Ricky. I told you they were just using them. They were just using the NBA.
By the way, that's the only reason why Villanova has been in the news cycle. The only reason is because they signed Luigi. It's the only reason that they've been mentioned.
Nothing else has gone on with
nothing else. Nothing at all has gone on that has prompted Villanova to be in the headlines. So, Dave, mock draft. We're going to do things a little bit differently. Before we do, a little bit of housekeeping. Number one, if you want to join the greatest community in the universe, check the Discord out down below. If you want to support us, check out patreon.com/ what I think it's MVP vids. That link is down below. You just click it. If you want to support us, be like J-Dub and Charlie, whose names are right behind Dave on our big board.
Oh, the sunburn hurts.
Dave didn't have to, but he committed, even though he's got sunburn all over his you said neck and shoulders?
It's my back. I only got sunscreen right up here because I'm a real smart boy. I'm new to this whole sunshine thing apparently.
You didn't ask anyone to like, hey, just rub one out right here.
Whoa. Pause
indeed. Also, if you love the antics here, hit that sub button. If you like it, hit the like button. Let us know what you guys think about everything down below in the comment section. Dave, we're doing something a little bit different here. We usually do 10 picks talk. This time it's a marathon. I'm going to let you go first. You're going to go through your 1 through 30. You're going to talk about your trades. And then I'll go through my 1 through 30. And then I'll talk about or list my trades off as they happened, as they need to be listed off. And then we're just going to talk about everything afterwards.
Yeah, 1 through 30 trades.
Well, yeah, like for example,
I just want to. As I'm reading these out, I'm gonna call out the trades as I'm doing it.
Exactly.
Is that okay?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I was going to read it out the right way.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean 1 to 30, then talk about your trades. Like if you got, for example, if you got the Jazz and Wizards making a trade 1-2, say the trades right when they're happening.
Yep.
Because in editing, I'm going to have a graphic that shows what the trade is so people can see it up on the screen. But the floor's all yours, my friend.
Exciting. Okay. Locking in, Dave reading for the next minute and a half. This is what you guys want. All right. With first overall pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Wizards will be selecting AJ DeBanza, forward out of BYU. Obvious choice. Jazz at 2 will be going Darren Peterson. The Grizzlies at 3, Cam Boozer. The Bulls at 4 will be taking Caleb Wilson. At 5, we have a wild card. We have a trade. I wish I could remember the dun dun dun, but whatever that little jingle is for the trades. Just mock that in here. Pretend I'm doing it.
Give me a second, Dave.
Do you actually have that? Because that'd be wild.
I have it on our soundboard, I believe.
That's amazing.
I thought we have it on the MVP soundboard.
It's a football, but I'll take it.
Well, yeah, I had it for the NFL mock draft. That's the NFL sound.
I love it. Yeah. We have a trade to announce. The Kings will be trading up to the 5th overall pick to draft Darius Acuff Jr., guard from Arkansas. The Clippers will be receiving compensation of the 7th overall pick and the 2028 Lotto Protected Kings pick. Spicy. We continue. We have the Nets at 6 taking Mikal Brown Jr. We then have another trade to announce. This is where it gets a little confusing because the Bucks will be trading up to take Nate Ament here. The compensation we will talk about after because it is a little complicated. We then have the Hawks selecting Keaton Wagler, the Mavericks at 9 selecting Braden Burries. The Thunder will be trading up. It's going to get really annoying. I'm realizing the damage we're going to cause. Don't worry,
we don't have that many trades.
The Thunder will be selecting Adai Mara at 10th overall. We will get into that draft compensation at a later time.
I was going to say, I'm going to cut you off real quick.
Okay, you want? Yeah.
Just get into the draft compensation now, because I'll put up a graphic that just
now I can kind of put it together. That's fine. Yeah. So the Thunder will be trading the 12th overall pick, the 37th overall pick, Aaron Wiggins, and Nikola Topic for the 10th overall pick and Bobby Portis. And then taking a step back, the previous trade I announced,
the Clippers and the Kings. You can just say it right now. I'll put it up right now on the graph. I'll put it up right now.
I read that one out.
Did you? Okay.
I read out the Clippers and Kings. I was gonna say the Clippers and the Bucks.
Okay.
I'll get to that when I get to the actual pick.
Bingo.
Sorry, this is a little first time we're getting back into it.
This is the first time we're doing this.
Yep. The Warriors will be selecting Yaxel Lenenberg out of Michigan. Then a pick that has gone in circles. The Clippers, via the Bucks, via the Thunder, via the Clippers. We've come full circle. We'll be selecting Hannes Steinbach. And this closes out the trade from earlier that allowed the Bucks to go up to 7 to get Nate Ament. That trade includes the Clippers receiving the 12th overall pick, as previously stated, Hannes Steinbach, Ryan Rollins, and Miles Turner. The Bucks will be taking the 7th overall pick with Nate Ament, a 2028 Lotto Protected Kings pick that the Clippers just got, and a 2030 pick, and potentially another one. I wasn't sure on the compensation. You'll tell me. DJJ, Isaiah Jackson, and Chris Dunn. 3 pieces likely to be dealt at a later time. Spicy deal. The Clippers overhaul their entire roster. We'll dig into that later. All right, moving along. We've got the Heat taking LeBaron Fallon Jr. We've got the Hornets taking Kingston Flemings. A little later than some of you might have expected. And I'm sorry, that was the Hornets taking Kingston Flemings. I feel like I misspoke. Then we have Bulls at 15, Cameron Carr. The Grizzlies at 16, Ibuka Okore. The Thunder taking Rez Johnson Jr. Then the Hornets taking Jaden Quaintance. The Raptors, Chris Sinak Jr. The Spurs at 20, Alan Graves. Then we have the Pistons at 21 taking Blake Thomas. The 76ers taking Dalen Swain. The Hawks taking Christian Anderson. The New York Knicks, the champions, taking Alex Caravan. The Lakers taking Alan Graves. The Nuggets taking Henry Vassar. The Celtics doing a very Celtics thing and taking Richie Saunders. The T-Wolves are going to take Sergio De La Rey. The Cavs will be taking Isaiah Evans. And with the 30th overall pick, the Mavericks will be taking Bennett Sturts.
Now,
man, that was hard to do.
Now, I have a question for you. We didn't say this at the beginning of yours, but again, I didn't want to interrupt it.
Yep. Appreciate it.
For anyone that is thinking, Dave, when you came up with this mock draft, was this you doing what you would do in their shoes or what you think they will do?
This was, what do I think there's an opportunity for to improve a team?
Okay.
This was mostly some effort on my end. I know that the Bucks are going to make moves.
Yeah.
Giannis' move is the giant umbrella covering this entire draft. We're waiting to see what falls out from that. So I didn't want to include Giannis himself because there's a lot of teams with interest, and we're going to dive into that in a minute. But I do know that the Clippers have been tied to trading back multiple times, and I know a Clippers fan who is all about collecting either assets or going all in on a championship swing. So that's the kind of direction I took from that. And obviously the Thunder, with a scenario of them losing the playoffs, I went for how do we address our team because of our cap situation, the young talent on the roster who probably doesn't have time to develop, and also trying to make sure that we can get right back to a championship standard team right away.
So I asked that because you and I didn't talk about like, hey,
no, we did not. This was no communication.
No communication before this one. I'm going to say mine is strictly, this is what I think. Like, more so, this is what I think each team will do. I'm not playing GM here.
Okay.
So it's not like because there's one pick, Dave, that we talked about last podcast we did that I shit on. But now looking into it, I'm seeing the tea leaves of like, well, I fucking hate that pick, but it's probably going to happen whether I like it.
There's a good chance.
Or not.
I mean, that's Braden Burries and the Mavericks for myself.
So like
after
I have
called
that
me out on it,
because I'm like I think like there's a good thing of that happening. So mine from the top, I've got same top four. We don't have to argue with it. Wizards with DeBansa, Peterson to the Jazz, Cam Boozer to the Grizzlies, Caleb Wilson to the Bulls. Sorry, the Chicago Caleb thing. I'm always going to have to.
There's so many Calebs.
There's so many, like Caleb Williams, Caleb Love, Caleb Wilson. And I'm going to want to say Caleb Williams a million times. The Clippers are interesting to me. I had them going with Brown Jr. out of Louisville. Had the Nets going with Darius Acuff out of Arkansas. Had the Kings going with Fleming out of,
Kings need King.
Out of Houston. The Hawks is the one that I don't really disagree with, but I'm seeing a lot of people say it might happen. Daimara going to the Hawks at number 8. Then at number 9, Dave. We have a trade as the Mavs are trading back with your Chicago Bulls. Bulls are giving up 15 and a 2031 first round pick to get the 8th overall pick. Keaton Wagler, come on home. Dave, I've officially said it. If this happens on draft night, I'm going to have an orgasm on stream. We might get banned off of YouTube. We may. It may be bigger than the Iota Sumo if we get Caleb Williams and Keaton Wagler. You guys will have to watch for that. We're going to be live for the first round.
You nailed the Caleb Williams, by the way.
That
took about a minute to come true.
Caleb Wilson and Keaton Wagler. We have the Thunder then moving up also with another trade. And Dave, this trade happens because I'm just going to say both of them. So this one happens with the Bucks getting 12 and 17, Thunder moving up to 10. Thunder going to take Yaxel Lendenberg from Michigan. There's also another trade that's happening here. So I'm going to just list this off right now. Dave, you didn't want to do it. I'm going to do it. Giannis is getting traded. It's going to be a 3-team trade. Bucks, Celtics, Blazers. Bucks are going to get Jeremy Grant, Scoot Henderson, and Shaden Sharp, plus a 27 pick from the Boston Celtics first round. They're going to get their first round picks back in 2028 and 2030 from Portland that they gave to them in the Lillard trade. I now have a football over my face, and I just had to click on that. So if things look, no, the graphics up here, I had a football over my face. Discord glitched out. They're also going to get a 2031 pick from Boston. Celtics are just getting Giannis. That's all you need to get here. That's all you need to get here. You're getting Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I can see the
yeah. They can't, but you
Stephen
can.
A. Smith.
The Stephen A. Smith. That's all you're getting. No. Don't worry. He's signing an extension. You got him. The Blazers. You're getting Jaylen Brown. Plus, you're going to get a 2033 first rounder from Boston. So it's like, yes, you're giving up those Milwaukee picks, but you're getting back another first rounder that's going to be in the same range of the draft. Because like the Bucks thought they were going to be good when they traded that. Plus, you're getting Jaylen fucking Brown. So, like, you should be happy with that. Dame, Holiday, Jaylen Brown, all in Portland. Then I got the Warriors at 11, going with Braden Burries out of Arizona. Bucks at 12, going Nate Ament out of Tennessee. Heat going with Thylon Jr. out of Alabama. Hornets at 14, going Heine Steinbach out of Washington. The Mavericks, via that trade with the Bulls, going with Abuka Okore out of Stanford. Grizzlies going with Dalen Swain out of Texas. Bucks with that second pick they get from the Thunder, going to go with Kareem Lopez out of the NBL. Then we got the Hornets at 18, Bennett Sturts out of Iowa. Raptors going Malik Thomas out of Arkansas. Spurs going with the analytical darling, Alan Graves out of Santa Clara. Pistons going with Cam Carr, a little bit of a fall for Cam because the Bulls weren't there to take him. So Pistons are going to be happy with that, I assume. Morez Johnson going to the 76ers. Christian Mr. Anderson going to the Hawks at 23. We got Jaden, nice to make your acquaintance, going to the Knicks there at 24. Nothing special about the Knicks. Nothing special. They just get Jaden
no shots.
Nothing special. Nothing special. Then we got Koa Pete. Should have went back to Arizona, but I guess he'll settle for being a Los Angeles Laker. Denver Nuggets going to take Zuby Ejiofor. My brain just went to mush of like, is it F4? And I'm like, there's a J in there. They're going to take Zuby out of St. John's. Then we got the Celtics going with Chris Sinak Jr. out of Houston. Alex Caravan going to the T-Wolves at 28. Henry Vesar going to the Cavs at 29. And then Joshua Jefferson going to the Mavericks at 30. Dave, lot to dive into here.
So much.
The first thing I'll ask you, what do you want to dive into first? The Clippers or the Giannis trades?
I think let's go Giannis.
Okay.
Because again, I mentioned, and I think you addressed, Giannis is the biggest thing we have to deal with in the NBA draft world. It's funny. The guy who's not part of the draft will decide probably one of the biggest swings in the draft and change the momentum of multiple teams, because we have not only the trade that you proposed, but we have the Heat who are interested. We have potentially the Spurs. We have potentially OKC. We have potentially the Knicks. We have potentially I'm blanking. Houston Rockets.
The Magic.
And the Magic. There have been a lot of teams sniffing around, and a team you have in this trade, Portland as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll be honest. The only reason I had Portland in my trade is apparently it has been reported that the Bucks want to include the Blazers so that they get their picks back. They want their picks back from the Dame trade, so they want to include him there. Everything that I've seen on Twitter, Dave, coming into this week, really it's down to 3.
Oh.
But then also the caveat of like, well, we want to wait until the finals are over, which then kind of brings in the Knicks and Spurs. Everything I've heard, it's either the Heat, the Celtics, or the T-Wolves. Now the problem being is the T-Wolves right away I'm throwing out. I would love for him to go to Minnesota and be with Ant. The problem is going to come, and yet again, can the Bucks convince us the Bucks want Jaden McDaniels. He is one of the two players. I think it's him and Edwards, not Anthony Edwards. Obviously, Anthony Edwards is untouchable, but there's two players, and one of which is McDaniels, that the T-Wolves have said untouchable. We're not trading him. So, like, if they offer McDaniels, then it's like, okay, maybe we have a deal. I just don't see that. I don't see the T-Wolves budging on that. So it's going to be who's got the better package between the Celtics and the Heat. And apparently the news is that Giannis already said if he gets traded to the Celtics, he'd sign an extension with the Celtics. So that's why I think it's going to be the Celtics.
And it feels fitting too, because the Heat always go big game fishing and they always lose. So why change now? I mean, that's just, it sucks to suck Miami. Pat Riley is, again, great, but it seems like he's had one strategy for the last 10 years. And I think that it worked out great with LeBron James. And then since, not so great. And Boston's got Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown wants to go. He clearly wants to be the guy. And with Jason Tatum on that team, that's not.
I hate to cut you off. This is from the T-Wolves side of it, from Sam Amick from The Athletic.
Yeah.
The package that the Bucks would want from the T-Wolves: McDaniels, Naz Reid, Terrence Shannon Jr., and 2 tradable first-round picks. Number 29 in this year's draft and their 2033 first-round pick.
But I understand why they would want those things.
It all depends on if the T-Wolves are like, yeah, we'll give up Jaden. If they don't want to give up Jaden, it's not going to happen.
And it's tough because Jaden McDaniels has been a great number 2, and like his defense is incredible, and now his offensive game is starting to catch up again. It's just that consistency we need to see out of him night in, night out to be that number 2 guy. Meanwhile, Giannis is Giannis, but Giannis has also had health issues for the last couple of years. Like, how long ago was that MVP? That was like 5 years ago. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've seen top tier Giannis. That's all I'm saying. Not that he can't do it. It's just the questions of like how much of this was.
How long has it been?
Back. Well, I'm just saying Milwaukee was, one story about him not being available to play. And he had his story about maybe I was available, but Milwaukee didn't want to let me play. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't know. We've got injury history. We've got age versus like if they gave up McDaniels, TSJ, and Nas, that's a lot. Like where are they going to fill in roster spots after that? Because Anthony Edwards plus Giannis is great and all, but and technically you still have Gobert and Randall, so maybe you can flip those. Like maybe you keep Gobert and you flip Randall, and try to get some smaller pieces to help you out to win a championship with that roster. But that's asking a lot of a roster that's just in pieces at that point. Let's be honest. It's in pieces.
So
I get it.
I found the other name, by the way. So this is from The Athletic. The Timberwolves, NBA Central through The Athletic. The Timberwolves have made Joan Behringer and Jaden McDaniels untouchable in trade talks. The exact quote is, considering McDaniels' immense value alongside Edwards as a elite perimeter defender, as well as his impressive postseason performance, team sources say Minnesota has indicated that McDaniels is off limits. Per those sources, the same goes for 19-year-old big man Joan Behringer. I hope I'm saying that right, Behringer.
Yeah.
But like that makes sense because, like you said, Rudy could be gone, Randall should be gone. So spots are going to open up for the 19-year-old on this team. It's just, part of me feels like if you're the T-Wolves, it almost goes down to, I had this conversation with somebody, Celtic fan. You know who you are. I love you, by the way. Looking right at the camera when I said that, peanut style. I was like, who would you rather have, your player or Giannis? And their first thought was they named their player. And I was like, what? Like in this situation, it's like, who would you rather have, Giannis or Jaden McDaniels? I would rather have fucking Giannis. No, I know you say the MVP season was so long, but you're matching Giannis up next to Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Like that is what you're thinking about. You're not thinking about the player individually. You're thinking about them as a team. Look at what the Knicks just did.
They had a team of guys.
They also,
now,
Dave,
if you're giving up 4 guys or 3 guys to get Giannis, who is on your team? You don't got enough team for a team, Ricky. That's my point. Because Jake McDaniels only makes $26 million a year. That's something you got to consider. Giannis, you're going to have to hope he will want to sign with you long term upon this deal.
Good point.
For an extension.
And he makes a lot more.
And he makes a lot more.
Also,
Jaylen Brown makes a lot more.
Also,
Jaden McDaniels at 26 is pretty reasonable.
I'm gonna say also again. Also, the Knicks had Danhausen on their side, and Dolan asked them to go 10 weeks without doing something.
Yep.
If they pulled that off, if you know, you know. I wouldn't be able to do that. But for an NBA Finals championship, I think I can get it done.
I think I've heard football coaches say they'd cut off something for a championship. So I think that all things considered, not very extreme.
I think that same guy, wasn't it the same guy who cheated on his wife with an NFL reporter?
Yep.
Yeah. Great source, by the way. Great source. In
your trade scenario,
go ahead.
Jaylen Brown seems to be the Giannis I will sign long term in Boston.
If you're
Jaylen Brown,
if you're the Bucks, are you mad about not getting Jaylen Brown, or are you looking to shift him off to somebody else?
I am all in on starting from scratch. I did the same thing with the Bucks. I took their roster and I continue to gut assuming that Giannis was gone. Like that, my moves were in assumption that deal gets done somewhere already. So I'm just cleaning up the mess after. I think that the true way to rebuild is to rebuild. You can't have you can't try to what was the term, retool a roster that's been saddled with $20 million in dead money from Dame, plus you have contracts of contender guys who aren't going to be able to contend for anything. So why rebuild the right way?
Also, the thing that makes me think of like why I wouldn't want Jaylen Brown on this team with the Bucks is if your goal is to bring in the Blazers as a third team to get your picks back. Basically, they're not pick swaps anymore. That's basically all they are. Because right now in those 2 years, 2028, 2030, you got the pick swap going on. Basically, you're then thinking, I want to suck. I want to be so bad that there's a possibility, even with the new tanking rules, that I could be towards the top of the draft. Maybe not number 1, but I want to be in the lottery for sure. I want to be in the top 10 for sure. Kind of a thing. And with Jaylen Brown on the Bucks, pissed off Jaylen Brown wanted to prove the world wrong. Maybe he goes on a tear. And then you're fighting for a play-in spot. You make the play-in, that is game over for any rebuild. Like, look at the Chicago Bulls. There's a reason why. Like, you can't just make the play and try to get those playoff money and then still build a team. You got to get high-end picks. If you want to get those high-end picks, get those high-end picks.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's why I said you just have to commit all in. So no, I love it. And I think Portland has a chance to walk away with like a weird situation where you still end up with Damian Lillard now rehabbed. You could bring back Drew Holiday and have Jaylen Brown. Plus you've got Denny Tumani clinging. Like you have a roster in the West now that can compete for a title somehow after, I mean that their moves have made no sense. And yet they're in a situation where they could build a roster that competes for their Western Conference Finals. They may or may not have a coach. Who knows with the new ownership, what's going on over there. So like Portland could walk away as the biggest winner out of this whole Giannis debacle. Like, I'm just saying that's found money that you got Drew Holiday and Jaylen Brown at the end of the day. And you only gave up a rental for Damian Lillard. Wild. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I think about it's like if a deal with the Celtics gets done, Blazers probably get Jaylen Brown. If a deal with the Heat gets done, Blazers probably get Tyler Hero.
I don't know if they want Tyler Hero though.
Well, I'm just saying,
I don't know who wants Tyler Hero. You tell me.
The only reason I'm saying that is the reports are that if the Bucks made a trade with the Heat, they'd be looking to move Tyler Hero to someone else. Maybe that would just be the Bucks, or not the Bucks. That would just be the Blazers.
But why would the Blazers want Tyler Hero for pick swaps? I'm sorry.
Jaylen Brown.
It's one of those
is
things
the
where I'm
best.
like, someone's got to be a buyer in order for there to be a deal. I don't know who's buying Tyler Hero stock right now. Like, maybe if it's a dirt cheap deal, sure, but I don't know.
Anyway, the Spurs overreact and make a deal for Giannis.
I would love it. I would absolutely love
De'Aaron Fox in that deal. He's now public enemy number one.
Yep, I've seen the rumors out there. De'Aaron Fox needs to find a new home, and whether it is going to the Timberwolves or whether it's going to maybe for Giannis or maybe in a 3-way deal where him and Giannis get moved, and obviously the Bucks walk away with some additional draft compensation. I think that would be pretty sweet. I think that Giannis plus Wemby is an insane situation. And you end up with Harper being the guy who he deserves to have, 40 minutes a night in the playoffs. I would love that. I absolutely would love. But at the same time, it's like, if the asking price is the problem, why is OKC not just going to make it happen? Like, that's the crazy thing to me is, like, if you have a chance to acquire one of the best 5 players in the NBA, and you have more draft picks than everyone, and you have more assets that are tradable than everyone, why aren't you doing it? Right? Like, are you a little confused by that? Like, I know we both had the reactionary of like, well, they got to move on from Chet or Jalen Williams or J-Dub to make this happen, but that's still worth it. Like, Presti came out and was like, we're not doing it. We're not reacting that way. We're, we believe in the process, blah, 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 blah.
Presti also said you and I are defending Shea every night. Like, he also said that Twitter is the 6th defender against Shea, which I'm sorry. There's a little 4-letter word I have for you. If Twitter is a defender against you, SAWFT, soft. You're softest in the softest of trends if you're letting Twitter be a defender on the court against you.
Yep.
Maybe I'm not going to do it, Dave. I'm not in the fucking mood to get up and do my Shea impersonation again. Maybe you spend more time playing basketball, not laying on the floor, and then maybe you'll be better at basketball. But like the Thunder, like Spurs and Thunder, you also got the Lakers will probably be better. There's now, of course, Dave, the thing I heard that yet again, I don't know if it's going to happen. It'd be sick if it happened. Apparently, like, there could be a Warriors super team with LeBron and Kawhi. LeBron and Kawhi going to Golden State to try to win one with Steph. Like,
that'd be wild.
The West needs Giannis. The question is, does Giannis want to go to the West? He said emphatically.
Do you think he's afraid of the West?
I don't think it's a soft thing. I think it's more of like I'm going to look at my chances. I have an easier chance.
A really good shot.
I don't care how good this Knicks team was this year, Dave. Lightning in a bottle was this year. A lot of people want to say, oh, Mickey Mouse ring. They played the Mid-Hawks. They played the injured Joel Embiid. They played traffic cones in the Cavs. I don't think it's that. I think it's the Knicks caught lightning in a bottle or caught a script or two. They caught lightning in a bottle, Dave. And the planets aligned for them. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes the planets just align for a team. You play basketball at the right time. As a baseball fan, we see it all the time. Team plays really well in beginning of the season, plays like shit in September. They don't even make the playoffs. They lose in the playoffs. They always say in baseball, you want to get hot at the right time. Yep. The Knicks just got hot at the absolute perfect time.
Did they get hot or did they get uncursed?
Well, yeah, that's what I said. They ran to the right script. Either way, like,
he's not a script writer, though.
He could be. Trust me, if WWE's in on it, there's a script.
There's a script. Yeah,
there's a script, especially because they were talking about earlier, like, oh, they already have a shirt made for when the Knicks win. It's like, yep, okay, cool. They're in on it. This is going to boost.
Come on, we already saw the ads with OKC versus New York Knicks a week ago.
Oh, I know.
So we can't have it every fucking which way. You can't cry scripts when you get both sides wrong.
Dave, all I'm saying is whichever way you believe. It's either lightning or
there's
a bottle
evidence for anything you want to believe. That's the problem with today.
Yeah.
Enough championship talk, enough Knicks talk, enough Giannis talk. We're here for the draft.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the draft. Let's sink back into draft territory.
Last thing I was going to say, though, is to answer the original question, I don't blame Giannis for wanting to be like, yeah, I would have my chances would be better of making the finals in the East than the West. It's just do whatever's right for you. But I will ask you, a team that was technically in the playoffs this year, I don't know if they're going to be in the playoffs next year. Will they even have Kawhi Leonard on their team? The Clippers, there's some noise around them at 5, Dave. I say this, you had not Acuff. You had Acuff at 5, but to the Kings. Virtually, who did you have then the Clippers walking away from in this draft?
Eventually.
No, that was the Bucks.
Hannes Steinbach.
All right, so Hannes Steinbach.
But also,
go ahead.
Through that trade, Ryan Rollins and Miles Turner.
So you're going more towards the trade route. The trade route.
I locked
trade back, like
trading back twice and collecting assets because Ryan Rollins is a guy who incredibly overachieved. The last 2 years, he is, insane development, production, and his contract is tiny compared to what you're getting him for. So, yes, we are striking when the iron is hot. We are going for a guy who is a surefire. Hey, this is a guy who can start, who can contribute, and be excellent, like upper probably 10 of his position in the NBA. Then Miles Turner, someone who we saw struggle a little bit more on the Bucks this year because obviously supporting cast wasn't there, but he's a complementary piece. But together, like we're basically nailing down our starting lineup. We have Darius Garland. We end up with Ryan Rollins. We are assuming we were going to re-sign Benedict Mathurin. We have Kawhi Leonard. We have Miles Turner. We have Hannes Steinbach. We have Yannick Niederhauser. Like we have dudes. And this team should be able to compete in the loaded West for, I don't know, maybe Western Conference Finals, maybe it's a situation where you keep going. I don't know, but it lines them up nicely for this, like, you have your young core of guys. Like, Rollins is only 23, turning 20. I think he's 24 maybe now. So, like, he's the age of some of these draftable guys, let's be honest. Yes, he'll be due for a payday in 2 years for an extension, but that's all right. I think that gives them the best chance of, hey, we optimized the 5th overall pick into walking away with a lottery pick and 2 starters on a playoff contending roster. Like I feel really good about that. So
there are conflicting reports on the Clippers. You got people like KOC reporting earlier this week that the Clippers aren't necessarily enamored with Keaton Wagler, who we've all have mocked.
Previously, we've had him mocked there for a while. He's been a lock.
I'll be honest, I really like his fit there. I think they should probably draft him if they're not trading back. Jake Fisher, though, NBA insider, he is saying that, so Jake Fisher reported on Thursday that the Clippers aren't looking to move in the draft. Most teams picking behind the Clippers are currently operating under the assumption that LA will stand put and keep their number 5 selection. So,
and it might be Mikhail Brown Jr.
Well, that's what other things I'm seeing is that apparently they've worked out Brown. They really like Brown Jr. And that's the sole reason why I'm go here is like, okay, if they like him,
that's where the tea leaves are leading.
Here,
I get you.
That's what they're going to do. Dave, I'm going to ask you, is that the right pick though? Cause like we wanted to fit into this. There's a plethora of guards. Filine has completely fallen out of this talk.
Yeah. Which I think is ridiculous.
About him at the combine. He is now fallen completely out. It's just Brown, Acuff, and Fleming.
He's up there. He's up there in my personal big board.
Where do you have him as out of these 4? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
I like him more than Mikhail Brown Jr.
Okay.
I think he would probably be my second guard off the board.
Behind Acuff.
He'd be my third guard, like Darren Peterson. It's funny in this draft because I start after the top 4.
In this discussion, we're not talking about Peterson.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the guys in this range. I'm not talking about
I genuinely think that like him and Acuff are I I'm at a loss right now because Acuff's offense is so incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And Phylon has that, like, he has the 50-50 split of his freshman year, he played great defense. His sophomore year, you got all the development you possibly wanted. He started shooting more. He got the chance to be a primary point guard. He absolutely is a dog. He attacks. He has a mid-range. He can get buckets anywhere on the court. He can play on ball. He can play off ball. Like, part of me is thinking, like, don't overthink this. Just take him. Like, why are we putting, like, the unknowns of Mikhail Brown Jr. and his back and his shooting concerns? And, like, yes, he is a creative passer and he has a crazy deep range. But, like, you have proven production and winning with Phylon. And, like, what am I missing? Why am I so? And it's just that conditioned mindset of, well, he's a second-year player. Why we can't take a second-year player that high?
Yeah.
Why not, Dave? Shake it off. I think that, and that's what's so weird is, like, him and Burries are like the same age, they're like a month apart or something. Like, and yet Burries is like God's gift to some people, and they got him going 5. So I don't get. But I think that Acuff is legitimately someone who should be considered for, like, even in the Bulls. Like, if it wasn't the Bulls, I would probably be making the argument that, like, are we sure Acuff shouldn't be taken 4th in this class? Like, I know we're talking insane production out of a player and the polar opposite of, like, potentially the worst defender in college draftable history in Darius Acuff. But I just keep watching him play, and it's just like, I don't know, if he gives like 10% effort out there, like, we could probably get by. We could make a team around him. He is that elite offensively that I'm like, should I not take a star player because I don't have confidence in me drafting defensive wings and center around him? Like, if he's the engine that could run a championship style offense, and again, maybe this is recency bias, maybe this is some cope, but watching Jaylen Brown be special during the playoffs, and again, how do you get there? Well, let's see. He had a defensive player next to him. He had a defensive player next to that guy. He had a defensive player next to that guy, and he had one more defensive player next to that guy. Like, yes, you have to build the roster correctly, but why are we pretending that you can't build the roster correctly? Like, I'm not Atlanta. Like, that was a Trae Young issue with Atlanta. Like, they failed to build a roster that could tolerate someone with his deficiencies in order to make it to a deep championship run. I'm going, if I have a chance to build a roster around someone who has Darius Acuff's passing vision, offense, just entire shooting skill set, ability to attack, got that dog mentality where, like, you score on me, I'll score on you, and he will just go right back at people. Like, there's so much to love about him and his frame. He's got wingspan. Like, he has the upside and potential of someone who could play just enough defense to get by. Jalen Brunson was a dog defensively, so, like, it's not quite apples to apples here, but part of me just keeps going back to the point of, like, I shouldn't dodge taking someone with that much upside and so much potential to be the one on a championship style roster because I'm afraid that I can't put the right pieces around him.
Well,
like, I wonder if that's just a cop out or what. It's like, I've been conditioned to think that way.
The thing I think about is when it comes to the Clippers is I don't know what direction they're going to go.
Neither do I. Yeah.
I don't know if this is a team where, like you have mentioned, where I don't know if it's a team that's going to say we were in the play-in last year. We're going to pursue. We're buying it on Kawhi. We're going to pursue playoffs.
Let's get an extension on Kawhi Leonard. Let's lock this down. Let's keep going.
But what I think might happen is, so right now Giannis is the big, we talked about it. Giannis is the big landing block. Like, that's the first piece that has to move. Once that happens, all the other teams, Timberwolves, let's say it goes to Boston, Timberwolves, Miami, if the Spurs were involved, the Knicks were involved, the Thunder were involved.
Magic.
There are a couple names. Kyrie Irving's been thrown out there.
Yep.
Kawhi, obviously, LeBron free agency. Like, there's a lot of decisions going through the Clippers' minds of, like, they might not be getting calls now, but are they anticipating getting calls for Kawhi after Giannis is off the board?
Yep. Kevin Durant probably getting calls already, let's be honest. Sorry.
Probably. So, like, I look at it and I go, obviously, if there's something about Brown that they like, take the guy you like.
If
like,
they
double down on your decision. Like, For me, is he the top guard for me? No. If I'm the Clippers, I'm just taking Keaton Wagler here. And as a Bulls fan, hurts my heart because it means we're not going to have a chance to get him. But like, if I wasn't going Wagler, like, to be honest, like Darius Garland, the whole, like, do we need a point guard or do we need someone who can have the ball or don't have the ball? He had not Davion, Donovan Mitchell next to him. And it was not really a big problem. Obviously, they didn't win in Cleveland, but it wasn't a huge problem. They were
He's
still
also
a
incredibly
good team.
unlucky with some injuries.
Yeah,
like
true.
there was the like, can they play together? And they didn't really ever like. It felt like they were good enough, but not like good enough to win a championship together. So I think that the concern is there for maybe there's some fit issues playing alongside two smaller guys who would have defensive issues together. That I think is concerning. But also it's the injury history. And that's why I'm like, I'm not taking a guy because Darius Garland. He's not that good. Like it's one of those things where it's like on a roster, how many guys do you think that I'm just like, I would avoid picking overlap because of this person? Like there's not a ton of those guys in the NBA. Like there are like special level talents on teams. Like, yeah, if I'm the Nuggets, I'm not taking maybe a center if I have other holes on my roster because Nikola Jokic is that guy. And yet we've been joking for the last like 5 years that they needed to take a backup center because the rest of their roster was good to go. They just didn't have anybody for like those 8 minutes without Jokic. They were getting murdered. But other teams where it's like, we can't take another guard. We've got so-and-so there. It's like, is he really worth not taking another guard and trying to take a shot at having a higher upside? Like, you need ball handlers. That's literally what we saw. And it's crazy to me that Clippers fans, maybe not all, I know not all of them. Some of them are like, we got Darius Garland. We can't take a guard. Like, really? Really?
Because we've never had teams have two players that overlap and get it done.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, and people who are like the Jazz, and this is not that argument, but like the Jazz can't take Cam Boozer. They already have guys who play the same position. And it's like, well, yes, there is positional crowding. They have Larry Markkinen, they have Jaren Jackson Jr., and they've got a big center in Zach Edey they like. Like, I'm sorry, not Chris.
Talking about
yeah, you knew where I was going. Yeah. I'm just combining teams in my head now. It was Walker Kessler, but yes.
Well, you said Jaren Jackson, and your brain forgot and went right to the Grizzlies.
Traded. I knew he was on the Jazz.
Yeah, but you're used to thinking Zach Edey when you think Triple J.
I do think those two together. It's hard to uncouple.
Plus, I'll be honest, I think in your mind you're kind of like, should the Jazz even re-sign Walker Kessler?
Well, no, I think that maybe the Bulls have been targeting Walker Kessler for over a year now. We probably should have pulled the trigger on that earlier, but whatever. That's not even. We took a guy who is currently. Where is Dalen Terry these days? The Sixers? That's who we took over Walker Kessler.
Yeah, he's not.
As a Bulls fan, I'm feeling pretty good. But this isn't that session.
Not yet. We'll get to them. My
point is, even in a situation like the Jazz, I don't think that Cameron Boozer is off limits.
Yeah.
Because they have two guys who are very good who play a very similar style role. I just don't. I think Peterson's better. Yeah. Facts, Ricky.
Like that whole deal isn't like my 1 through 4 isn't because like, ooh, well, they're not going to take this. It's just this is the big board. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how the top 4 goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know people have
Peterson's like right there with me for number 1. I'm still on that fence.
But. Okay, but like still like,
yeah,
Adrian Devance.
Everything else, yes.
Right. But like. The Clippers, they need to decide what they are going to do.
What their future is. Are we doubling down on Kawhi Leonard and trying to finish on a high note for that man? Or are we going to
Do you think the investigation has anything to do with it? Like,
no. I think that the NBA totally just dug their head in the sand and waited for things to pass by. And regardless of how much stuff Pablo Torre brings up, they're not going to get punished anything reasonable for it. If anything, like they're going to run into a situation.
But God forbid you tank, Dave.
Correct. You pay players illegally. That's fine. But don't you ruin the integrity of the game. That's the important part. That's because our money comes from gambling now. So DraftKings, FanDuels, like that is where those are overlords.
Mm-hmm.
We are just subservient to them, and we can't touch the money. So I'm gonna guess there's gonna be a Steve Ballmer fine. Maybe there'll be a front office fine.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be no lasting damages. Is my bet.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying let's just go for it. Let's send it.
If Kawhi gets traded, where do you think he gets traded to? Very quick question. Is it that Warrior hype dream that I've been seeing?
I don't think I don't think so. I think Kawhi
Or do you
Leonard,
not think he doesn't get traded at all?
I don't. I feel like maybe the Spurs would take him back.
Okay.
Wild card.
If they don't get
I don't know
Giannis.
how San Antonio would feel about it. But I wonder.
If they don't get Giannis, is the caveat.
But I
there.
wonder.
Mm-hmm. Also, I
think
didn't
that
say
would be-
this about the Spurs earlier, that you bringing them on. You say this. I know you just hired him last year, but there's a part of me that thinks Mitch Johnson should be fired after the NBA Finals.
You got to learn somewhere. If there's a great coach out there, go for him. But otherwise, I think it's a learning moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he and Aaron Fox both were very, very culpable for the losses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there is a part of me that like what you
he got outcoached bad.
What you just said of like, I hope he learns from it, but yet again, I'm like, you can't do that in the finals. You can't do that in the finals. Let's see. Next thing.
What were you gonna do? Hire Doc Rivers? Like, I don't know who's replacement right now. I ain't getting into it.
I mean, what is he the only one available? That's
he was just the worst name that I could think of.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Coming up next, let's bring up the Hawks. Let's do a little Hawk talk here.
Let's do it.
A little bit of Hawk talk, Dave. You have them going with Keaton Wagler. I have them going with Adai Mara. Apparently, from everything that I've seen, there's pretty much 3 players that people are kind of expecting to be here. One of them is your guy. One of them is my guy. The other one I've seen is Yaxel Lindenberg.
Oh, spicy. Mm-hmm. So that's crazy.
I've seen Yaxel be thrown out in this. More Mara and Wagler.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, the only reason I had them going with Mara is part of the rumors. 2, I'm going to be a Bulls homer, Dave. I wanted us to be able to. At first, I had us trading with the Hawks.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I don't know if the Hawks would want to do that deal. If they would just want to take Mara or
to be fair, we
Lindenberg.
did just take a guy from their front office, so we have a great relationship with the Atlanta Hawks.
But if you want Mara or Yaxel, I don't think Mara or Yaxel will make it then 215, is what I'm saying.
Correct. I agree with that.
Like after I played it out, I'm like, well, this would have been dumb for them to do. So I then did what you can't do in real life and went back and retroacted it and said, no, we're just going to take the guy
we whiteboard right now.
Here.
We are here on the whiteboard.
But what should they do? Guard or front court? Back court, front court, back court, front court.
I don't know if there's a right answer right now. I went with Burries because if Burries were available, if they're both available, me personally, not Burries, Wagler were available, then I would take him.
I looked over. I'm like, you did not go Burry. I'm like, did I listen?
I have a real hard time with the lining up of names. I'm an old man. I got glasses. I need to zoom like 7 times right now. Feel less embarrassed. Wagler, I think if they're both available, I would take Wagler. I think that he is someone who came out of left field this year. Like nobody had him on their boards. Nobody had him even remotely. I mean, shit, he wasn't like a 5-star or a 4-star. He was basically a starless athlete going into Illinois. Like, thank God Illinois found this man. And then weirdly, we got lucky that an injury happened and he turned into our starting point guard for half a year. Like, I do love Kylan Boswell. He is a dog. I can't wait to see what he does in the NBA. I think in spot minutes, he will be a great third guard in the NBA. But Jesus Christ, was it great to watch Keaton Wagler go out there and just shoot the shit out of the ball. He's still a raw player, like, because he's growing into his size. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, there's a huge knock on him. Like, basically, he had a hit piece written about him because he didn't dunk this year, which is they're all like, someone with his size didn't dunk. That's never happened. He's gonna be terrible. He's destined for failure. And then other
He's
people
just
talk about
not
like,
a dunker.
he's not a dunker. He didn't attack there. Well, maybe because he grew to be 6'6" or whatever it is, like overnight, basically, and like still growing into his frame. He needs NBA conditioning, NBA coaching, strength team, like all that good shit that you come into the league with. Like he came from podunk nowhere. Like you got to remember this. This is not a top tier prospect coming into college. He didn't go to a factory of basketball. So like the fact he was able to pull off what he did at Illinois, can we give him credit? Can we just give him
I'm
some
giving
credit
him
for
absolute credit. The thing that I shove my head back is, Dave, I know we're not the Dukes of North Carolina, but Illinois basketball team, that's probably one thing we do well.
High school.
Oh, Kansas.
Yeah.
Shawnee, Kansas. Shawnee, Mission, Northeast. Northeast.
Yeah. He was not playing at a
Northwest.
He was not playing at a basketball factory. Is my point. Like he was not.
I thought
Academy,
yeah.
Or I'm thinking of those things like that level of they are entrenched in basketball and that is their life already. No, I think that he's got size above average, which ticks the box for the Atlanta Hawks. They're all about leveraging height and wingspan. And yes, he doesn't have the wingspan, but he has the shot. He is someone who can create problems for other teams offensively. And that is what the Hawks desperately need, is just another ball handler who can space the floor. Like they nailed Dyson Daniels and bringing in those guys to just become defensive monsters for other teams is great. But when you can't dribble a basketball or create offense, Jalen Johnson had too much on his shoulders. I think that's why Keaton Wagler steps in day one, instant impact. Like CJ McCollum freaking was, I don't know how much money they're going to have to pay this man to stay, but like he was the savior of this team after being basically like a contract match throw-in on the Trae Young deal, which is all the credit in the world to the Atlanta Hawks. Seriously, they, like, as a Bulls fan, I have to respect the fuck out of what they did in such a short time period of changing the focus of the team, changing the direction of the organization, and just making sure they hit right on what they are trying to focus on. So that's why I think Wagler going in, like, he solves problems, he stretches the floor, he creates the space they need. And yes, they still need a center. You went with that approach. Let's hear about that. Why Mara as the big fix for this team this year?
So Dave, I'm looking back.
Yeah.
Because for your statement of
what we do here is go
of
back.
Basketball Factory.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a guess at Shawnee Mission Northwest? The Cougars, by the way. Go Cougs.
Nice. Shout out.
Do you want to take a guess at what their record was in 23 games? How many games do you think they won? No, without. This is this year. Without.
23 games. They probably won like 15. Pretty good team, right? No, not so good. 10?
9. They went 9-14. Ranked 102 in Kansas. Ooh. Last year, with Keaton Wagler, they were number 1 in the state of Kansas. They went 22-3.
Oh.
12-1 in the district. Kind of like in college or in high school, one player can kind of change everything.
That's true. Well, you know what?
Yeah, they won 22 games with Keaton. They only won 9 without.
Yeah. And again, the dude is just so much offensive talent, which is wonderful. Mm-hmm. And I think that if you want to see some fun stuff, like obviously everyone just points to that 46 blowout with Purdue, like not blowout as in win, blowout as in just like he blew the fucking barn doors off on that game. And that was the like, oh, you can't guard me. You absolutely can't guard me, Purdue. Like there's no stopping. It was, he got hot and then he just felt it and then he was just all green light. Like there's, he gets a little bit of the like, people want to throw a little shades of Tyrese Halliburton, shades of James Harden. There's a lot of shades of with this man, which I think is wonderful.
Hopefully more shades of Halliburton and less shades of Harden.
Well, I mean, Harden is probably one of the greatest scoring guards of all time, one of the better point guards of all time. Like, you know, he's still pretty
can't say anything for both. They both haven't won a ring.
Both haven't won a ring. Yeah. But the point is big body, good passer, can get some rebounds for you still. Like, I think he's just a contributor. And yes, defensively, he'll have to do some work. He needs to put on some weight, some strength, but he's got the chance to do that.
Because like the other thing I think about, and this is especially with the Hawks, of like, we've talked about it before of like, yes, they made the playoffs this year. They were the 6th seed going in. They're not going to be a team in my mind that completely falls off.
No.
But it's like, what pieces? Because Rishashir.
Some would argue.
Yeah.
Ricky, actually, some would argue they would be the second best team in basketball because they actually put up a fight against the Knicks.
Oh, did they? Well, until they were uncursed.
Yeah.
They were winning until they were uncursed, and then the rest is history. Because like they're a team that even looking at their contracts, like their UFAs, they have 4 guards with UFA. CJ McCollum's one of them. Like, are they going to bring him?
They gotta pay. They gotta bring him back.
Well, or are they going to bring him back only to like do a sign and trade thing?
I think that the importance of having someone who can dribble basketball, and CJ's got playoff experience. CJ's got old man experience just from being a vet in that locker room. Like, he's the right kind of guy to have around a young team. And as much as you want to say they're not vet savvy enough, let's put it that way.
I mean, because I have seen some things where it's like, are they going to trade CJ McCollum? Because they got him, they got Wesley Matthews, Gabe Vincent, Trent Forrest. You got Kuminga's got a. They
got to decide what to do with
club
Kuminga. That's
option.
the big question mark.
Muhammad Gay has a club option. You got Dylan Windler, who's a UFA, and then Jock Landale, Tony Bradley, UFAs. Then you got Kokolo as an RFA.
Yeah, I think you go after bringing back Jock Landale, bring back CJ, and try to get a 3-year deal with Kuminga for less than $20 million. If you could pull that off, that's a pretty good offseason. That's a pretty good offseason.
Because if you take the club option, he's going to be getting $24.3 million this season.
I think that, he got a little upsetty spaghetti at the Warriors for not giving him more money and a long-term deal. I think that we saw, yes, he can have a great impact on a team, but he never really found consistency with the Hawks. Like, he was like, put him in and unleash him, let him go kind of thing. But at times he was their best player, like in those short runs. So I think that if you get like multiple year deal for like 20 million, that would be good. I don't think I would give him 25, 30, but I think that like, if I get a 3-year 60, sure, send it. I wouldn't regret that. But you need spacing, you need ball handling. That's why Keaton Wagler, I want to hear your side of things with the Daimara, because they did get crapped on for not having a center who is center sized. And I love Onyeka Okongwu.
I just think, like, from what I've seen people say, even though I agree with you, I would go with one of the guards here. And like in my mock, Keaton's there. I would probably go with Keaton. Hell, I would probably go with like a Fleming, Acuff, or Brown over Mara. But the fact is, yet again, was I maybe focusing too hard on like who they've worked out, who we know that they're probably going to work out? Like,
tells one story.
So far, the names that we know they've either scheduled or had workouts with: Brown Jr., Zuby, Flemings, Yaxel, Akori, Koa Pete, Dylan Swain, Malik Thomas. And like, mainly I bring up some of those other names that aren't in. Yeah. The reason I bring up those guys is when I first did the trade that we'll talk about in a bit, the Bulls trade, I had them trading with the Hawks. My brain's telling me, are they thinking about maybe making a move to trade back? Because Swain, Thomas, even like a Zuby, if they took those guys at 15, I could defend that a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they got 23.
Yeah. Okay, true. They do have 23, but like, could they be looking at
some of those guys could be in the middle though? Like, I think.
I think Swain and Akori could be 15.
Swain,
Like those two are ones.
Guys,
but it's like
maybe you might have to move up for.
Malik, Malik, I'd probably put between like more so
Yeah.
late 10s, 20s. Wouldn't be surprised if Malik Thomas is taken at 15 if the Bulls
I would
trade
love
with
that.
somebody.
I think he's probably that's probably the
Mhm.
right range for his value in my opinion too.
Yeah. Like I see those guys. It's like, are they looking to trade back? But I think at the end of the day, they're going to look at it, and apparently they really like the Michigan guys.
I
That's
mean,
what
there's
I'm
a lot of
seeing.
reasons to like winners. Let's be honest, you get that glow from winning a
Uh-huh.
championship. Their production was undeniable throughout the season. Adai Mara also isn't a splash in the pan guy. He's a 3-year college
Mhm.
guy. Like he also was a European pro before that. Like again, he was somebody who was supposed to be a one and done when he got to UCLA 3 years ago before the terror of Mick Cronin attacked, Like it's unfortunate
The
that his career
terror of Mick. Oh,
but
I love the rivalry between
every
Dave
year
Oster and Mick Cronin.
it's
And
I
Cronin
don't
doesn't even know about it.
Oh, he watches. He knows. He knows what he did. But while he was buried on the bench, he did adapt and he did grow into his body a little bit more. Like
Mhm.
he was a gangly, all awkward guy when he got to college basketball. He was.
Nice.
And
No,
he
I'm
needed
saying
to put
nice,
on
nice word usage there. We haven't
he
pulled
needed
out
to
the
put on some
gangly
weight
in a
and
bit.
size, dude. That's again watching the international
Mhm.
play. Like that was the biggest knock is how easily he was knocked out of the post. Like,
Yeah.
and again, that was the U19, U18, U17 stuff. Like,
Mhm.
he was special from a like basketball processing standpoint. At that point, it was just like giant who can also do fun passes. And then it was like,
Yeah.
okay, let's continue to work on the game. And then he added on some strength. He added on the ability to stake his claim in the paint, not get pushed out of there. Easy as far as rim touches, get the ball up there to him, and he can finish. But then it was just like, wow, guys are really afraid of attacking near him. Like smaller guards trying to go downhill and attack, like you just watch the on off of like how often, and that's even with Yaxel and Merez Johnson out there, like the difference of how often players went in the paint when he was on and off the court, night and day, night
Mhm.
and day. So if you can get somebody who will change the shot chart of the other team's guard, that's probably worth a pretty high pick in a draft. And like,
Mhm.
yes, he will always be a drop coverage guy. No, he is not a Wemby stopper. He's not that guy. But what he is a matchup nightmare for a lot of guys. He creates problems. And like at the end of the day, if you have a 5 who is 7'3", who can swat the crap out of the ball, who can also be a low post passing hub, like there's just a lot of really nice options that open up offensively and defensively that you can scheme around with that. Now again, we're gonna see the same problem like Gobert style. If you drag him out of the paint, same with Klingon. Like he
Mhm.
comes similarly to a Klingon more than anybody else, I think, in this class. So like you will see size issues. People want to put Edie. I think Edie was a whole lot stronger, more polished.
Yeah.
But like I think that there's genuinely a lot of benefit to someone like him, and I can see it in a class where there's not really any other standout center prospects.
Mhm.
Mara, even though he's an upperclassman, I understand the value in the top 10, and I get it for the Hawks because I mean they need it on both. They need a 5 or they need a 1. I don't think you can really go wrong here. You got your options though in front of you of guards like crazy. So if you feel like Mars a reach, maybe don't take him. If I feel like Mars that guy, then feel empowered.
I'm starting to have a feeling it's either going to be one of the Michigan boys here. It's going to be either Mara or Yaxel.
Because all I've heard in the last 4
Mhm.
days is Yaxel workouts have not gone well.
But
teams are not impressed with his maturity. Teams are not impressed with the work he's putting in during the workouts, maybe the interview process. I'm not sure. It's
here's the thing,
the
though,
rumor
Dave.
mill churning. I don't know if it's smoke.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is this just teams putting out smokes? They want other teams to think, well, everyone's like, if everyone's down on him, then like, I don't gotta worry about him like not being there. Like a team later saying, I gotta trade up, jump ahead of this team to get him. If we say we don't like him, totally throw some smoke that we're not gonna take it, and then we take him. I kind of have a feeling that like if they take Yaxel, there's almost a thought in my head that either one of the two, Mohammed or Kuminga, one of those two are gone.
Yeah.
I know we've heard the rumors through the earlier parts. They're like, oh, the Bulls would be open to trading like the 15th pick for like a Muhammad Gay. Also, like you have said, like Jonathan Kuminga, they could not take the option, try to work out a deal with them for less, but it's like they're either going to take Mara or Yaxel in my mind.
Trade him. I mean, that's the other thing.
Yeah, they could do that too. You're right. There would be 24.3. That's a fine contract filler.
Yeah,
like that can fill some contract space. But speaking of trades, Dave, the Chicago Bulls.
What you cooking?
In mine, I cooked it up. I did what the dream is. Keaton Wagler on top of Caleb Wilson. Apparently, the rumor is the Bulls are looking to move up in the draft. From everything I hear, it's between 8 and basically it's like teams between 8 and 14 could all be it. It could be something where we make a swing and move up with the Mavericks or the Hawks, or it could be something where we trade our 15th pick and 2 seconds to the Heat or Heat or Hornets to move up 1 or 2 picks for somebody.
Okay.
The question is who? The name that's been vastly thrown out there is who I had mocked to him, Keaton Wagler. That would be moving up for him. And I'm telling you, if we got Caleb Wilson and then Keaton Wagler, I would be so excited, Dave. It would
be great.
I know this team is probably not going to win a lot of games, but I am looking for fun basketball and a developing team. We don't even have a head coach yet, Dave.
It's true. Some people are a little concerned about that, us included. But what is it about Illinois players in the Chicago Bulls? Like, we really, really feel like, hey, we struck with Iota Sumu. Love that. Wish we would have kept him, obviously. Terrence Shannon Jr. was a guy who we should have taken. We did not. But we all felt very strongly about, hey, this is a guy. Like, y'all are just ignoring it because there was BS surrounding his name. This is a guy still. And now we got Keaton Wagler. And it's like, again, and through Michigan temporarily, Merez Johnson Jr. Like, Illinois kind of becoming a nice pipeline for the NBA and maybe for the Chicago Bulls if you have your way.
So if I look at the Bulls, I did this for the Hawks. I'll do it for us. Guys that we have worked out, Dave.
Yeah, let's hear the list.
Get ready for this. These are like the first
every guard.
Acuff, Ament, Brown Jr., Sinak, Flemings, Johnson Jr. We've worked out Yaxel. We've worked out Akore. We worked out Bennett, and we worked out Wagler.
Yeah. No, I mean, I understand that group, and I do wish that we would maybe move up if we could get a guard. But is it interesting to you that, like, maybe it's me, maybe I'm reading too far into things, is Keaton Wagler just a different shade of Josh Giddey? Like, do you get similar concerns?
Is Josh Giddey going to be here much longer?
Well, that's actually a great point.
Is he a younger Josh Giddey who we would have more control
Josh
over?
Giddey's also very young, but yes.
Yeah, but then we'd have more control over is the main thing.
True.
Giddey is 24, you're right.
Giddey is young. Giddey's on a good contract for his production, coming off his best season ever. And Wagler's big knock is lack of physicality. Giddey's big knock had been the lack of physicality on the defensive side. Wagler not known for his defense either. Like, I'm a little concerned by the combo maybe together. And again, I don't think that prevents us from taking them. I would just be very clear. I think that you can have multiple guys do the same things. Obviously, where Giddey is more of a downhill attacker, and he's added that 3-point ball to his game because guys did not respect it, which is wonderful. He's knocked him down. He's done everything you could possibly ask for. Yeah. Wagler's like, I will take every step back 3. Everyone I get. Like, he's a killer from the outside. So maybe, like, because offensively they're almost opposites, but defensively they both have the same concern in my mind. So maybe that's me being like, I don't know if we can have 2 guys who really just let guys buy them at the same time.
I was also talking to Jake yesterday as we were watching the end of the NBA final debacle.
It definitely happened.
So there was a trade I saw that someone mocked, like us getting Julius Randle in a 3-team trade. Yeah, I know. I made the same face. I was like, why? And he goes, you guys are going to take on bad contracts.
Yeah.
Like, because of how much money we do
Yeah,
have
absolutely.
to where it's like, is that
But what are they gonna
also
do for
in
us?
the process also of like free agency? Are we going to try to sign guys that don't necessarily help us?
We should pay way too much money for Peyton Watson.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
Even with getting Caleb Wilson,
Mm-hmm.
we should throw a bag and a half at Peyton Watson.
With the thought being like eventually like we're going to use him.
Oh well, yeah. I think his timeline and Wilson plus Modest will all line up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like he's not that much older.
Yeah. But like we do have a ton of off-season money.
We do.
I don't really care about the like, oh, if Wagler and Giddy are on the same page.
At the same time, from the guard position on defense, it's fine.
Because like we were talking about the Clippers.
We haven't had a rim protector in Chicago in how long? When did Pau Gasol retire?
Well, we should have traded Pau Gasol at some point that we didn't.
I know.
And
I remember. That's why I said maybe I'm pushing buttons over here. But I'm just saying, like, Chicago Bulls, we haven't had a rim protector in forever. So, like, why am I making a big deal out of two guards who can't, play defense? I shouldn't be.
Really, we should just take the best talent on the board.
Well,
whether that's trading up for it or staying put.
Well, that's always, it's the best talent in what world, in what scope. And I think that, like, if you're going
right, you're right. You're right. AK thought that Phillips was the best talent.
And well, Julian Phillips, he had that pedigree. And that's why pedigree is a real bitch sometimes. 1 year of this kid was, the number 28 prospect in the country, and he just played on a bad team.
Yeah.
Do you buy into that? Is it a Patrick Baldwin situation? Could it be a Nate Amends situation? Who knows? I don't know. I just think pedigree is sometimes overlooked, and that's why, like, with Keaton Wagler, he had none, and that's why I think a lot of people love him, because he is like the underdog. We're all rooting for him, especially because Illinois fans. But yeah,
I just with the Bulls, if we trade up, if we don't trade up, I am just when we get to Tuesday, Dave, when we get to the 23rd, I'm just along for the ride. Am I going to be mad? No. Am I going to be? You know what? I shouldn't say am I going to be mad? No. If we draft someone I absolutely can't stand, which I'll be honest, in this draft, I don't know if there's
on the Bulls.
Who I wouldn't want on the Bulls.
I would be okay. Like, I don't think there's a single pick that I would hate on the board in the first round. I would take.
I mean, I'm not.
Would I love that if we swung on like someone like Isaiah Evans at 15? No, but like if they were like, hey, we think that his movement shooting and his growth as a defender and as a rim attacker means it's going to open up things for him, and we believe long-term growth. Sure, I'll buy in. You got me. Like, I don't think there's a guy, like, the only one who is a question mark is literally like Quaintance, because it's like if you say his medical, my lights went whoosh. If you say his medicals are clean enough that we believe in it, deal. I'm in. Like, that's the only guy who I have a reserve in my heart about. And I love the idea of him. So, like, I mean, that's the thing where it's like, maybe. But is there anybody in your first, like, reasonably who you'd be like, yeah, we'd screw up? Like, you got Koa Pete. I think outside of Koa Pete.
It's the one name. That's the one name I would hate.
I looked at the list and I was like,
yeah, if that was the one name, but like, I'll be honest, I wouldn't be happy with LeBaron Fallon, but I'm not a big LeBaron Fallon guy.
Hater.
Kinda, but like, it's not like I wouldn't be like ranting and it wouldn't be like when we drafted Tony Snell and I hated that pick.
Remember Denzel Valentine? That draft pick was.
I thought he was going to be some because of the Michigan pedigree.
Yeah,
he was on the Michigan State teams. Dave he was that. Tom is a winning culture.
January, February is though. Yeah, no. And that's why I think this is like a fun class right now, because we're all just like pretty happy. There's no villains. There's nobody with like outstanding, like horrible shit. Like, there's guys who I maybe like more than others, absolutely. But like, I think that there's, for the most part, it feels like there's a good floor in this draft class. You know what? The ceiling at the top of this class is insanely high, but also the floor is weirdly comfortable.
From what I hear though, and mainly I've heard this from Soapy, apparently next year, I know already bringing up next year's class. We're not even done with this one. Apparently, next year's class is duty. Soapy was telling me.
The ceiling might be less than great, but the floor, now that 8 guys went back from this class, pretty good. I think that we're going to be more used to this because NIL right now has no cap.
Yeah.
And until that deal gets signed and they actually decide to put, some regulations around the age and length of how long guys can stay in college for and the contract value, I think that we're going to see more 20, 22, 23-year-olds in the draft. I think that's just going to be the new norm. I think this is just the start of something new, and we're all just adjusting to it. I think top-end talent, though, you're probably right. I don't think there's going to be A.J. Darren, Cam Boozer.
Yeah.
That's not happening at the top of next year's draft. I can tell you that.
So right now, Dave, how are you feeling with percentage that the Bulls move up?
Honestly, the amount of guards we've worked out scares the crap out of me.
You feel like we're going to trade up for one of them?
I do. I feel like Josh Giddey might be on the move. I think that maybe Noah Essingway might be on the move. I don't know if anyone outside of Modest is a lock on the roster anymore. I think that we should be open to all potential deals. So if a team like the Nets or the Kings, I don't think the Kings, I think the Kings know who they want and they're going to go get them. I think if the Nets, the Hawks, the Mavs are looking to move back, which I think that all three of them have fair reason to, then yeah, let's go for it. Let's send it. Let's go get 2 top-tier caliber rookies and just send it as a roster. Who cares? This is a new front office. We already know how long it takes the Reinsdorfs to churn through if there are not results. Yeah. So these guys should get real nice and comfy. Don't plan on a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year cycle. You got 5 years.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Don't feel rushed. Go take the best prospects you can find. Take on the bad contracts to load up on draft picks because you'll be able to use them. You'll be here when those are up in 2031, 2032. I would not be sad about that.
So I will also ask odds we have a head coach by draft night, or are they, or are we doing one? Or are we doing the unconventional, Dave, where we're going to do the draft the guys, then hire the coach?
The coach's job is to coach, not to draft, right?
No, what I'm saying is usually you have the coach in place and then, coach gets mad. They drafted this guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If I draft the guy first and then you hate it, well, you just made my job easier.
Yeah. No, I think the coach's job is to coach and the front office is there to draft. So I don't think the coach matters. But I do think that hilariously the coach matters so much because as we've seen with Billy Donovan and his choices to play or not play guys, same thing with so many other coaches around. Doc Rivers literally hates everyone under the age of 25 and maybe 30, to be honest. There's just coaches can fuck up a young prospect's chance so much.
Tom Thibodeau.
Tom Thibodeau hates kids, period. We watched, guys who just get a chance. Ryan Rollins, literally, I have him being traded, but we're talking about a kid who got bounced around the league for years until he found a chance. And then he got his chance. He found the opportunity and he ran with it. That man performed like crazy. And it's crazy that I think there's so much talent in the NBA right now that it's being buried on rosters. So even though we're looking at this draft right now, if you end up on a team, if you're on the Thunder, there's a chance that you're so good and it doesn't matter. You could be better than 10 guys on other rosters and you would be getting 15 minutes a night, but you're on the Thunder. So you might be in the G League or you might be running the bench and getting a minute every third game. That's just how it works. And that is the state of the NBA. And I think that there's so much depth that we should be seeing better guys get minutes, but there's no, if I'm the Thunder, why am I moving on from guys who I think are better than your bench players? Just because they're my third stringers, I'm not doing you any favors. I'm literally making moves in my mock draft to be all right, we have to churn. I'm going to move on from Nikola Topic, who I still believe in, even though he's coming off of a torn ACL and testicular cancer. And it's a wonderful rehab story that now he got some minutes last season and he's starting to get back. But dude, you're in year 3 and we've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, J-Dub, AJ Mitchell, Jared McCain, and Cason Wallace in front of you. Where are the minutes going to come from? You tell me. Like they have to churn. So that's what I'm saying. Like some of these guys is just it's situational. You gotta find your opportunity in the NBA. So like I think that at the end of the day, like you gotta get the lock in as far as where the opportunity plus the coach lands. And I think that some of these coaches are not doing the young guys favors.
Well, speaking about a guy that I would think would be doing young guys favors, you know who I'm not like all gung ho, like if we hire this guy or nothing. I was kind of like that with Sweeney before he got nabbed by the Magic.
Yep.
You know who I kind of want us to snag up as the coach, though?
Who's that?
Tiago
Splitter.
I kind of like literally he took over after game 1 after Chauncey, gambling. Literally that happened on the 23rd. Golden State the next day, he was coaching, led them to a playoff appearance. And it's like that roster, except for like Dame and Drew Holiday and Jeremy Grant, but like
Dame didn't play.
Robert
Williams didn't really play.
Mm-hmm. But like Sharp, Scoot, like it's a younger roster.
Oh yeah, and Scoot was out the majority. Mm-hmm. But he leaned into what worked, which was Denny Ball, Denny Avdia, a guy who we only got to see become a primary option, even at that like a 1B.
Denny Ball becomes Modest Ball
last year. I don't know. I'm just saying like what we saw was he evaluated the roster, went what gives us the best chance to win.
Yeah,
we've got a young point guard and Scoot prior to his injury, like underperforming. We've got Sharp, who incredibly talented, gifted, but inconsistent, wildly inconsistent. Denny is someone who we saw for the last, chunk of the year prior, like be a stud. So like, all right, cool. We're leaning in. We've got defense with him. We've got Tumani. We've got Klingon. There's our identity. Let's go ahead. Drew Holiday. Great. We've got our defensive mentor. This is awesome. Don't expect him to be like a 20-7 guy anymore, but like he can be the steadying hand on the court for us. And like they did a great job, and he did a great job as a coach. So yeah, I think that he is someone who sees young talent and kind of knows how to work with it and puts out a competitive roster. It's up to the guys to win, obviously, still, but I think that at least he works with what's there, and it seemed to work out really well because those are guys who weren't given necessarily that much run or that much of a role at their previous spots.
Dave, next thing I'm going to bring up, a team that we have talked about ad nauseum since they got eliminated from the playoffs. I have the Thunder moving up from 12 to 10.
I have the Thunder moving up.
You have the Thunder moving up. I think this is one, if Yaxel is there, this is a team that I think is going to move up for Yaxel, mainly because I believe from everything that I was reading last night, Yaxel could be going to the Warriors.
Yep.
And that's one where if he is still there by the Bucks pick, I think the Thunder making a call. And for me, I think it's easy. Hey, do you want both our firsts? Let's just make this easy. We'll give you 2 firsts. You move back 2 picks. You let us beat the Warriors and get our guy.
Yeah, I love it. It's simple. And it's something I probably would have done if I didn't look at yours and see that you already had it. And because it's a mock draft, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of copying your homework. So I had to lean in and use my brain.
Dave's like, I got to do something else because you're not going to be like Kat and get an A on the group project, but not do anything.
Facts. So I want to make sure that.
Have you seen those memes, by the way? Him
really.
sitting on the bench yesterday like this, and the graphic says 2.6 fouls, and it's like definition of doing nothing on the group project but still getting an A.
That's awesome. But no, I mean, I did struggle because my first thought was like, this is absolutely for Yaxel. And I was like, but Mara's there. Like, would they, because I had them trade as part of the trade instead of going for the double pick, they went for 12-37, but also moving off of 2 of their younger guys to create roster space with Aaron Wiggins and Nikola Topic. I wanted to make sure, okay, we're getting back Bobby Portis. We're getting back someone who is an NBA champion, someone who is a vet, someone who has a crazy intensity to his play style, has a great engine, and has a floor space and ability. So we've got, like, in my opinion, a really good fit for what that roster could use. And that's why I'm like, all right, I don't want to necessarily overlap too much. I still have question marks about Thomas Sorber's return. I still have question marks about what they're going to do with Isaiah Hartenstein. So if we go get a Daimara, options are better than not. Like, I don't even need to look at the backcourt situation. I just need big bodies. So that's why I'm addressing going to Daimara here. I'm getting Bobby Portis in the trade. And with that 17 pick, I would be taking Merez Johnson Jr. I'm just like bodies.
I think I have a pretty good idea what the Thunder might be doing this draft. It's either two options. It's either one, we're trading up to get Yaxel, or like I'm seeing names on their workout list, and these are not scheduled. These are ones that they've done.
Oh,
Nate Ahmet,
okay.
Alan Graves, Morris Johnson Jr.
Yeah.
Quaintance. Also, Caravan, that's probably for one of their second round picks.
37. Yeah.
But like, I think it's either going to be we trade our first two picks to move up to get Yaxel.
Could be, yeah.
Or it's going to be any combination of.
Quaintance is a guy you can basically medically redshirt just like you did with Sorber. Yep. You know, if you get any minutes out of him, great. But like, let's be honest, you just want to make sure he gets right. Because he rushed back and he clearly wasn't ready for it. So,
like, I could see them taking Nate, Alan Graves, Morris Johnson, or Quentin, or with Jaden Quintons with any of their two picks. Then, if they don't move up,
yeah, they've got the luxury of not needing these guys to play championship basketball this year.
Like
that's true.
They could easily, like Nate Ahmet was one that I saw. I'm like, shit, they worked on Nate Ahmet, and I'm trying to think. I'm like, you know what? That kind of seems like a Sam Presti move. Like, hey, we're drafting you. I don't even care if you contribute to the team this year. Just being here with us, training with the guys, like end of a bench guy, like hopefully then you pan out.
I mean, look, this is the team. They just traded Ousmane Dieng at the end of last year. And he was someone who was always getting minutes, not enough to ever be like a guy, but like enough, doing enough. And he actually had like a couple of really good standout games towards the end of the season on the Bucks. That took me a second to get there. But they also had, oh my God, who was that international player who is back playing internationally now, who was like 7 foot tall and just the weirdest body type? Couple years ago
on the Thunder.
Yes, Thunder international picks 2020.
Braden Carlson.
No, he wasn't on the team this year.
Oh, okay.
He is now, I think, playing internationally. But he was traded from the Thunder to, I think, Charlotte. When I see his name, I will freak the bleep out. Oh my God. Where is he? OKC. This is holding up the whole show. I'm sorry, guys.
Dave's like, I gotta find it. The problem is I'm even typing into Google. I can't help you out. You said he was on the roster last year.
No.
How many years ago was this?
Probably 2 or 3. Might have been longer. I'm double checking.
Wasn't Bertans, was it?
No.
Oh, was it? Did his name start with a P? Alexei Polasevsky.
Oh, Pokusevsky. Yes, it was Poku.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got there.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
I saw the name and I was like, I think this might be it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I remember this name.
Yep. So Poku was someone who was the supposed do-it-all, wing who happened to be the size of a 7-footer, which kind of reminds you of somebody, does it not? Nate Ahmet style.
Drafted in 2020, 17th overall pick.
Yep. So if you can get someone who's a much more polished version of that, I don't know.
Dave, you are spot on. He then moved from the Thunder to the Hornets.
Yep.
And now is currently overseas.
Yes. Yep. So
In Serbia.
it's one of those things. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. But yeah, I think it gives credence to the fact that yes, they could go, upside swinging for someone, and they don't even need them to contribute because they already know that they've got a championship caliber roster. They just need to retool and work the contracts a little, just a little bit of massaging.
A little bit of massaging, but yeah, that's why it's like I look at their workouts and like I said, I think
that's good. I didn't even think about that.
I think I have a firm like grasp of what they're gonna do, where it's like, hey, we're gonna try to trade up depending on where Yaxel is, because like right now everyone's talking about like the Warriors would take either Yaxel or Burries, or there was one other name that I was seeing that I would have to look up. But the Thunder, it's like it's either Yaxel, we're moving up, or I'm just gonna take Nate Ahmed, which would be fine with mine because like I have the Bucks with that 12th pick taking Nate Ahmed, and then with that 17th pick, they could still get any of the guys like either Quaintance or Malik is still there. Graves, did I say Graves was on their list?
Yeah, you did.
No, not Graves. Yeah, okay, there he is.
He was, yeah. I was gonna say he definitely was.
All of those guys would still be there at what would that be? 17. So like I want them to trade up. I will say that. I kind of want them to trade up for Yaxel.
And we watched what OG did in the playoffs, right? Like we all saw that. Like, is there not just part of you that goes like, if he could be like 80% of OG Anunoby in the NBA?
Could win a championship.
I mean, I get the concerns over maturity. I don't care. That I think that the problem is I think the OKC does. There's such like a brotherhood down there that like I feel like they're afraid of messing up the vibes, and I don't know that someone like Yaxel will mesh necessarily if the front office believes that strongly in like the character concerns.
Are people overreacting too much to the Yaxel stuff?
Maybe.
I know this isn't the first time we brought it up.
We know
he's
immature.
Show.
Like that's a lock. He's immature. We get that. But like, how immature is he? He still plays fantastic basketball. He still has a great size, defensive instincts, defensive effort, which I think effort is one of those things where like if I was concerned with him, like it'd be on the effort side. No, he puts in all the effort in the world. He worked on his shot a little bit. It got much better. If he keeps putting in work, then he will get much better. Like, whoa, what are we missing? That's why I had him at 9 last time. Because like, I feel like talent-wise, he's there. But obviously, we're not getting the whole story. You can't just rate a guy on talent because talent doesn't always develop.
Give me 1 second. Got to work text, Dave.
Oh, no. You're good, man. You're good. I will ramble then. If we wanted to, I do think that I was on the fence on my end, flipping between Mara and Yaxel. But like, I do think that the Warriors, you're right. Like Yaxel makes the most sense there if he's available. Burries, the Mavs seem locked in, so I don't think he'll fall. But then after the Heat feel this pick, I felt weird just making the pick for them because it feels like they've already tried to trade this to the Bucks like 6 times now. So I kind of wanted to be like, maybe we should. But I went with LeBaron because I really feel like by far he would be my best guard on the board. Like, and I don't know. I don't love Kingston Fleming the same way you do. Like that's the biggest gap I'm noticing between our board.
This is the thing, or some team I feel like is gonna draft Kingston as high as he is because of how he plays on defense.
And that's great. But
and let's be honest, I would have Acuff to the Kings if Acuff didn't get taken by the Nets.
Okay.
Which also, Nets, I don't know if you heard, did you hear the rumor about them, what they're probably going to do this offseason with free agency?
No.
Throw a bag at Austin Reeves.
Oh, I can see that.
They are rumored to throw a bag at Reeves.
Sure.
Let me see if I can find the tweet. I saw it this week. Like,
it's a why not move, you know? Either the Lakers match and the Lakers have to overpay to keep Austin Reeves in LA, or they get another super talented scorer, and then they have 2. MPJ, Austin Reeves, around a bunch of unselfish playmakers who they drafted in the previous year. So yeah, it kind of makes sense.
So this is from Dan Wolke, LA Lakers for the Athletics. Is that where the source is coming from? Nets are preparing to pursue Austin Reeves in free agency with a 4-year, $178.5 million offer.
Sounds about right.
which then,
I
like
can't
you
do
said,
math,
the
but that sounds
Lakers
right.
would have to either match or let him walk. It's just weird to see someone doing stuff like that that's not the Kings. Because usually that's a Kings move. Hey, let's throw a bag
He
at
hasn't
him.
been on the Chicago Bulls though, so the Kings wouldn't be interested.
Exactly. It's got to be on the Bulls for that. They're like, you're trading Giddey. You're trading Giddey.
Yep.
We'll take Giddey. We'll take Giddey.
Honestly,
Next,
we just say the Kings do need a point guard, right? Like,
Giddey, Levine, DeMar. We'll give him Patrick Williams. They can have him at the 4. They can sign Vucevic. Then they can really be the
Lucy is a
Sacramento
free
Bulls.
agent.
And he has said he's not going back to, he doesn't want to go back to Boston.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I told that to JD, and JD's like, good, that brother
Thank God.
stinks.
Yeah, I bet.
He's
I
like,
bet.
that brother stinks. We were just talking about this guy 2 seconds ago, Dave. How realistic do you see a Quaintance fall? I technically had it because
You did.
I have him going to the Knicks, which is the lowest I've had Quaintance go. But I'm going to be honest. When I did my mock, I was very heavily influenced by teams and who they've worked out.
Yep.
I know that guys sometimes have drafted guys that they don't work out because they're like, there's no reason to work you out because we know.
We already know, yeah. Or
But, like,
it's a behind closed doors situation that you don't hear about.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So like we are only getting a sliver of the picture, but I totally understand because I'm again, it's the workout feedback that I'm getting that everyone's talking about is like not me personally because I'm not an expert, I'm not an insider.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
the talk about his injury concerns,
Mhm.
the way he's landing on his every dunk attempt, every rim attempt, the one-legged landing and trying to, make sure that as a big with his size, his athleticism, that like we're keeping him safe long term because you don't want to end up in a situation where his comp currently is Robert Williams, which is wonderful until you go, well, yeah, half the comp is because you're not on the court.
Mhm.
So it's like, shit, I don't know if are you comfortable investing in a long-term center who might have, only 3 good years in his body? That's a tough sell for a lot of people. Like the upside is great. Like he has like top 10, I would say probably like top 8 talent in the class if
Mhm.
he's healthy and he didn't have those concerns. But he's not, and those are concerns. So I've seen him, even on my end, I did have him fall down to the Hornets. I felt like they were a team where like I don't care about the concern. We have a situation where we're going to try to address going with either a power forward of the future or a center of the future.
Mhm.
We've got a couple of guys who are like they're there, but they're not like the perfect fit. I think he's someone who is worth taking a swing, especially because they have 2 picks and they're landing the guard, which they need. Even though Kobe White, I think, was a wonderful addition to their team. I think that adding to Kingston Flemings gives them another dynamic, gives them a defensive guy who can be on ball. I think that's perfect for them. So that second pick gives me the assurance of like, we could take a swing here. That's why I felt comfortable with it for them. You had them going down to the Knicks, which tell me more about that because you said you weren't loving a lot of the other spots.
Well, this was one where I'm looking at their workouts. They have not either worked him out publicly or worked him out yet. If they are going to work him out publicly, I just looked at, so contract wise, you got Mitchell Robinson and Ariel Hockpriority. They're free agents. Now, will they probably bring Mitch Rob back potentially? And I know I'm kind of doing, he's not going to be center, probably more power forward because he's only he's only not 5'10", 6'10 and a half. So it's
he got wings,
but he does have wings, and
he's a crazy rim protector.
That's what I'm thinking about. I saw the Knicks in these playoffs. How many times they had to take Cat off the floor to put Mitch Rob's defense in, but then take Mitch Rob off the floor for offense because he doesn't have any offense and he can't shoot free throws, to where I'm like, if Jaden Quaintance can be just a little bit better offensively than a Mitch Rob, to where it's like, hey, I can put you on the court in situations where I need that defense, but I don't have to worry like, oh shit, you're on the floor. If you get fouled, it's the end of the world situation.
And because of the youth, you expect, hey, this is a guy who we can put some time in. We can put him at the free throw line for, the next 6 months to a year while he's working on his rehab and getting his body, his lower half right.
And
we
they
can work
just
on the shot.
and they just won the finals, Dave. They have the luxury of saying like, yeah, we got like if you don't play this year, it's not a loss.
It's not the end of the world. Yeah.
Even if you don't play until the end of the season, it's not a loss.
But yeah, I think that as a developmental project, he has got the Knicks would be a great fit. I agree.
But I will say
they dealt with his injuries for the last how many years, and it's always been the case. So like they're kind of used to it at this point. It's just a younger version on a lower contract.
You know what?
You look confused.
I am very confused because I thought I was going to see this name on more workout lists. There's only one team that is publicly worked out Jaden Quaintance. If Rookie Wire is telling me the truth, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Dang.
Is that something where it's like, are we in a world where is it Thunder or bust for Jaden Quaintance or Quaintance? The Thunder or bust for him in the first round?
No, someone will take a swing on him, but also I realized that I'm blind and forgetful because I did not have Kareem Lopez in my first round. And he absolutely is going in the first round. So I apologize because he probably would bounce in somewhere in the 15 to 28 round.
I was going to say, like, I didn't see that with you, but like when I saw you have Sergio, I was like, oh fuck, did I screw something up?
I do like Sergio. I do like Sergio. I do think that him as a long-term play would be good for a team like the T-Wolves. Like he's not the like, I'm going to go attack and be crazy ball handler, like take control of the game, but he is a good passer. And I think he could play a good role out there next to an Anthony Edwards, like long-term.
Someone's commented before now that's like, how does this asshole not have Kareem Lopez in his first round?
Yeah. 10 minutes into the video, they got that. So if you stuck it out for the hour and 40 minutes for me to apologize, give me a
close.
What do you want? What do you want to call me at that point? Just so they know in the comments section, like you watched this long. How do we give them the secret code word? What's the phrase?
All you have to do is reply to your own comment, calling Dave a putz.
A putz.
Call him a putz.
Yep. I'll take it.
Just so we know you got this far. Just call him a putz. By the way, Dave, I will say this, quick aside. Yep. I got numerous questions about the last episode, about the joke that was cut out of our podcast, by the way. Soapy was the first to ask. He goes, oh, by the way, what's the joke that was cut out? By the way, he loved the joke, but he loves those kind of jokes. And by the way, they now feel like disconnected because we know what joke we're talking about. You guys don't know. I'm sorry.
He understood. I can't let you right?
Yeah, he does, but he also loves those. He loves those kind of jokes.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying it was one of those like we got it for a reason.
I'll be honest. When he asked me, he goes, "What joke was it?" And I told him it was one of those when someone just immediately starts laughing like out loud.
I love Sophie's laugh too.
Oh man.
I would have Kareem Lopez right where Alex Caravan is. So let's just pretend that's where Caravan, second round, Kareem Lopez.
So Kareem Lopez to the Knicks.
Yeah, we'll just pretend that's there. Never happened. Just put it in the video. We'll put it in the graphic.
By the way, should I put in the graphic that's Kareem Lopez? And then
yes, you should. We should just cross it out. No one will ever notice.
You're gonna say Alex Caravan at that point.
But hang on. The New York Knicks will take Kareem Lopez.
Now you're making me do extra editing, Dave. I'm gonna have to splice
I'll put it at the end. I'll put the end. That way it's easy for you to grab.
Oh, then yeah, but I still have to put it into there. Yeah, I know. And I don't know how much space it was. Oh man. I just played this footage right here.
Yep. Just got to like 3 minutes of a random conversation.
Oh man. But yeah, like Quaintance, I'll be honest.
It's concerning that there's no other workouts for him.
I don't know if he is going to fall. But there's I'll be honest. Cam Carter. Or not Cam Carter. Cam Carr. The reason I had him so low is because the Bulls didn't pick at 15.
Yeah, you think he's a very situational player?
Well, I mean, it's just like where everything was falling out in different teams. I'm like,
I think the Grizzlies could take him. I think the Thunder, if they
mhm.
moved off of more guys, like I think he would be a great Wiggins replacement, a guy who is a wing player.
Only one
But
team has worked
they just
out
don't got
Cam Carr
room.
publicly.
Which one?
The Pistons. That's why I had him going to the
Pistons.
Pistons, because at that
That
point
makes
I'm like, oh
sense.
shit. Like
Fact.
at that point I'm like, oh shit, Cam Carr's not on my mock. And then I'm like, who's he worked out with? And I was shocked that it's only been the Pistons.
I could see the Grizzly, I could see the Raptors, and maybe the Pistons. I think the Pistons would take him 100%.
The Grizzlies have a long list of workouts, Dave.
Yeah, well, they are thorough and they do love their analytics.
First round talent we know for sure alone. It is Zuby, Koa Pete, Bennett Sturts, Dylan Swain. I'll be honest, like Yesifor's on. So like the complete list, and I'm just gonna read last names.
Was before some drops,
Yeah. Agee, Alexis, Allen, Anderson, Dion Brown, Jamar Brown, McQuill Brown, Cleveland from Liberty, Collins, Corin, Dia, Zuby, Hadley, Hall, JJ Harper, Hausen, Henley, Hoiberg, Joshua Jefferson, Jones, Keontae and Leger Jones, Kohler, Lipsy, Monroe, you got Murphy, you got Pierce, you got Pete, you got Porter, you got Reeves Jr., you got Ross, you got Sturts, you got Stojakovic before he went back, Swain, Tanner, Wrightsell, and Tunde Yasafar.
They're just collecting data, man. I love that.
Take that for data.
In. Yep.
They'll lean in to take that for data.
They lean on the scouting. You got an opportunity to get to know these kids. No reason not to.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's one of the things where I'm like, I think that some teams take it for advantage when they're just like, yeah, we know who we don't need to bring in everybody. We gotta select few who we think is worth it. And the Grizzlies are like, I mean, you're here to be here. Like, let's find out what makes them tick. Because it might not be today. It might not be this year's draft. It might be in 4 years in free agency. We might be kicking the tire, down the line. So there's no like. It's always weird when you hear that draft stuff because like I feel like the NFL does a way better job of like. I know the NFL draft is also 7 rounds and like thousands of people, but like I feel like they do a better job of doing their due diligence and like all of that work that goes into it. The NBA is like, hey, we're smaller teams, we're really focused, we're lasered in on just a couple of guys.
Dave, you wanted to talk about playoff teams.
You're just like moving on.
You want to talk about dude, I'm not getting into the Grizzlies and their take
You're
that
good.
for data right now.
When
you said hour 40, I looked and we were at an hour 58.
All right. We'll move along.
I'll be honest. I thought this was going to be longer. I thought we'd be sitting at 3 hours at this point.
We'll wrap this up.
I thought you and I, Dave, I'm not saying we need to wrap it up anytime.
No, we do gotta wrap this up soon. I got stuff to do tonight.
Dave's like, I gotta go to bed.
I also have work in the morning. Yeah.
Playoff teams. You want to talk about them?
Playoff teams. So now we hit the playoff land. Obviously, the Spurs, we both have going with Allen Graves. I love that. I think it fits an immediate need for them. They were searching. Harrison Barnes is not forever young. They need somebody who can play on the wing, create a little bit of havoc for them, and also add some defense. So let's go for it. Love that. I think that the Pistons you nailed. I went with a similar vein in Malik Thomas. Same idea, different guys. Totally great. The 76ers, I think is weird because like I don't know what to do with a team that's on like house arrest because they have Joel Embiid and Paul George and they're just stuck with those contracts and it's like, well, we know what they are and we know what they're not. And we're basically trying to build around like Maxey is the constant. We have Maxey, we have VJ. So that's why I leaned in and I went like, give me Dalen Swain to be another guy to attack downhill. Like maybe they should go for more spacing, and that's on me. But I'm going on the side of like, their play style is attack the rim, and I'm tripling down on that. I'm just like, why not just keep on going? Like, we're going to play the most up-tempo game when Embiid's not on the court. And then Embiid, if he is on the court, he could be a trailing big and hit my favorite shot in the game and hit that trailing three. He's great at them. He's fantastic at it.
You know what's the hardest thing about the Sixers, Dave? 0 public workouts.
Well, I mean, they did kind of fire Daryl Morey.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
The front office is in a questionable state at the moment.
When I searched them on this list and it said no players to report, I went, yikes.
Yeah. But
I'm like, we're going on vibes, baby. We're going on vibes at this point.
Yeah, I think Mraz is a great pickup for you. I think I like Don Barlow a lot, but I know he's got limitations.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're in a weird spot. Hawks, we kind of covered a bunch, but both love Christian Anderson. Again, he pick and roll maestro, floor spacer, great, love it.
The one thing I'll ask, and this plays in the playoff teams, are you like me? And I don't think you are, because I don't think you have him in the first round. So I put Koa Pete to the Lakers just because I think they're the ones that gave him the first round promise. Are you then off the board? Noah Pete is basically like where it's like, yeah, you're how I used to pronounce his name before I said it right. Is it like he just did it on his own and there is no promise?
I think he has a bad agent. Okay. Like, he's getting bad intel, personally. I don't think that I would mock him in the first round because I don't think that I would take him in the first round. Sure, someone is, but again, it's one of those, like, great work ethic, pedigree. There's nothing wrong with him outside of the fact that he can't shoot a basketball.
Yeah.
And his size puts him in a tweener spot. So you can't be a center because you're not big enough. You can't space the floor because you can't shoot. So you're strong. How many guys in the NBA make it because they're strong? You tell me. I get it. You can teach people to shoot to some degree, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm a team in the playoffs looking to do that. I think that they're more than likely, like you mentioned, the Knicks, we can afford to take somebody who is more of a, like, Jaden Quains, we're happy to let you get healthy and then come in and be an impactful defensive player. Cool. I went with Kareem Lopez, clearly. Duh. Why would I go with anyone else to the Knicks? It's definitely Kareem Lopez. Because I think he can contribute to some minutes if they actually throw it his way. And definitely not Alex Caravan for those same reasons. But I do think it's just weird because it's like, the Knicks, the Lakers, the Nuggets, like, sure he could get some minutes on those teams. I don't know. I don't see it. If he gets a shot, great. That's wonderful. That's an insane level of development for a player who not big enough, not quick enough to move on the outside. So he doesn't fit in my NBA.
The only thing I think, and this has nothing to do with his play, Dave, he is signed to Clutch Sports.
So you're just leaning on the attachment. Yep.
Since the decision came out by him, people said Lakers, Nuggets, there was one other team. I saw Clutch Sports. I'm like, oh, Clutch Sports means Lakers at this point.
It makes sense.
It just means they're the ones that, if anyone has the intel on what the Lakers are probably doing, it'd be Rich Paul and Clutch Sports.
True. The T-Wolves, I think, would hate him because they already have Julius Randle. And God, no, let's not do that.
They're trying to get rid of Julius Randle.
Why would we take a worse Julius Randle? The Cavs might be interesting if they're moving off of Mobley or Allen, or they need like a depth piece, maybe.
Both can shoot better than
the end of the first round is not exactly where we're going for guys who are instant impact typically. Like, he's a long-term product, so it's not like I'm talking about him being a guy who's going to contribute much in his first year. We're talking about him as who needs to learn how to shoot.
If you need to learn how to shoot, you shouldn't even have hands to have a ball in the fourth quarter.
Thank you. And the Mavs are like, yeah, no. Maybe if they're going to get a good deal, like PJ Washington, they could sell high on. And maybe he's somebody who long-term, again, defensive identity is like, we got Cooper Flagg, let's add another strong defender in the paint. But in my opinion, I'm going, I don't want to add someone who's going to clog up the paint for Cooper Flagg. I want Cooper Flagg to just be in attack mode offensively and not have to worry about 3 guys in the paint.
You want space.
So I don't see it. Sue me. I mean, I've been wrong about a bunch of things. I'll be wrong about a bunch of things. I just don't. I would not invest a first round pick in Koa Pete.
Mm-hmm. The last thing I'm going to ask you, there were some names on the workout tracker that while doing the info that I was doing, I was seeing their names a lot for several teams. Thomas, Zuby was one. Akori was another. Zuby works out everywhere. Akori is another. Like some of these guys, and I asked because like Zuby, I had at 25.
Yeah.
I
am just outside my first.
Just outside your first, which is perfect for this conversation because these guys that we see their name on numerous teams' workouts for public workouts. Is that just because it's like what we've said, where it's like, okay, we got the top 4, then we got this group, and then the rest is just a crapshoot. Whoever you like, you take. There's not really
I think post lottery to about 40.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know a lot of people have a hard line. Like again, I think Joshua Jefferson's in a lot of conversations. Zuby, Terrace Reed. We talked about Richie Saunders, Trayvon Brazile, Sergio De La Rea, and one more I'm forgetting. But the point is there's like 8 guys who are, I think we're roughly like 38 guys in my opinion are like, these are draft hits. Like I feel like these guys, there's probably 38 of them that are worth taking this year. The rest are longer shots or like we're going to take a guy who is going to contribute on, I forgot Jack Cahill, the latest, mystery international prospect who kept his name in the draft class. He could be in the end of the first round because he kept his name in. Shockingly. I think that we'll probably see his name on a board. Yeah, probably night 1. If not the very start of night 2. But like I think the rest of these guys are like long-term development projects, or we think he'd be really great to bring into an organization, like whether as a developmental piece or because like, hey, no offense, but a guy like Braden Smith, I need a guy who can run my G League team because I've got a couple of bigs or wings I want to develop, and I need a competent point guard. He will run the shit out of that offense. He will, I mean, it is down to the T. Like he will have them in great shape. You give your guys the best chance to develop if you give them the right tools. And as we've seen in the G League, having a point guard makes everything different. Summer League, same thing. Watching teams without a point guard in Summer League, I wanted to hit my face off of the seat in front of me until it was just mush.
He goes watching teams without a point guard.
Awful. Get someone who can dribble basketball. And I think that in a lot of these cases, like, yes, it's worth the investment because he's not just there to help himself. He's there to help the whole organization. And I think that those guys have a wide impact. Guys like Emmanuel Sharp. And then there's like the wild card guys. Like, let's be honest. Bruce Thornton is like, that man's a bucket. I don't know what he's going to do outside of be a bucket for you. But like, there's always like Caleb Love we watched last year for Portland, I think, get like legit minutes. And hey, we need someone who can just go create his own shot. Don't care that you're, not the perfect player for us, but like we have a hole in that role. Whether it was an injury, whether it was a trade, there's always there's chances to take a step up. And I think that he's a guy who like there's something there clearly. So
obviously we've seen though
that second round
this year. There's got to be way more due diligence probably than needed from most years. Like where it's like you said, anything post lottery to you to like 40. It's a wide range of players.
I would say like 18 to 40 is pretty much. I would not shrug too hard at any switches around that range.
So like
there might be like subcategories like maybe 18 to 24 and then 24 to in my mind it's just kind of like
there's a part of me that feels like last third of the first round and later pretty much of the first round because this is where most of it's going to come from. I feel like we're going to get more reactions from people that are like, wow, that was a reach. Whoa, that was a reach. Just because of the vast, like, discrepancies. Yeah. And the vast, like, everyone has different people ranked higher, different teams worked out different teams. They worked out a lot of people from this range to where it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if the last third of this draft is just like, wow, there's a lot of reaches.
Yeah. And then the other thing I'm waiting for, as we've noticed, like that top couple picks from day 2, which I hate. It's day 2. Why are we doing this? Do it all in one night. Like pick 31 through, 35 is always the spicy stuff. Like that's always like last year we were like, there's no way this guy isn't going to be the number 1 pick of the second round. I think we were talking about Maxime Renaud. Like we're like, what is going on? And the year before that,
how many of the guys that fall? How many of the guys that fall are just going to say, "Don't draft me"?
There's that too. It gets that's the one that makes me hate sometimes, because it's like he's not going undrafted because people don't see the value. He's going undrafted because he's making his agent tell teams not to pick him so he can go to a place he wants to go play. Like
that's not the point of a draft.
Yeah, we're no longer drafting. We're in free agency. Once we end the first round, it turns into free agency.
So
and that's what I dislike about it.
Do we eventually get to a point where enough of those guys do that where we shouldn't even have a second round? It's just the first round, and anyone who doesn't get drafted, you're an undrafted free agent.
Honestly, that kind of would be cool. I'd be cool with a wider, like, it would be, but only if it's a separate free agency. I want, like, ideal world.
Yeah, the undrafted free agency that starts the day after the draft and goes for a period of time, however long.
But then the normal free agency is after. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Then yes,
that's like this free agency would start. This free agency would start same time as like where the second round starts now.
Yep.
Go for a couple days.
Yes.
Or maybe like 2 days, 3 days, maybe Tuesday, like Wednesday, Thursday is that period. That's your undrafted free agent signing days. And then if you don't get signed in that day, then you just go to the regular free agency.
Yeah. 100% in, Ricky. I think that's a great answer. I really do, because I'm so sick of this shit.
The TV ads, they hate me for it because they're not going to make money off TV ads.
Day two is a cool idea at the moment, but with NIL, I think that it's no longer the value proposition. I think that guys will get the chance to go where they want more often. I don't see obviously the biggest problem is like the NBA still has to solve for what do we do with all the second round picks that we've got and all the ones that have been traded. You have to put an end date on when the second round will clip off. That's a them problem, not a me problem. We're just throwing out ideas, and I think that Ricky's idea is pretty fucking good.
The one thing I just lost it. I just had it, and I just like I thought it was fleeting, Dave. Yeah. Like I just kind of feel like second round might not be needed anymore. I know we want that was it. Like the whole TV revenue. Oh, they're going to be mad they can't do TV. All these Fox Sports, ESPN, most of them are just garbage now anyways, because now you got guys on YouTube that can do it better. Where it's like they could still do the free agent special. Here it is.
Rumor mill, all that stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Talking about just have Shams locked in a corner. That are like chained to the corner where it's like,
right. It could be like a 3-hour window instead of the day 2 of the draft. It would be a free agency. They would go nuts for it. Yeah.
Kind of like how in football they do or even the NBA, they like free agency starts at this time. We're going to have the free agency schedule and all the news is coming in. They're talking about it. They're bringing in experts.
So maybe you have to give it a day. You have to let the first round of the draft breathe. And that way guys can kind of see where things settle in, and you can do the build up again for the NBA.
And then Thursday night.
Free agency.
Yep, Thursday, the undrafted, and that runs until the weekend. So like until Saturday.
Great, that'd be great.
Because what? Because then what? That would be like example this year. If it started on Thursday, ran to Saturday, you still then have a couple days until the league year starts on July 1st.
Yeah.
And if you don't get a deal done within that time, you're just in the undrafted free agent pool, which. You'll be there July 1st with everyone else.
Absolutely.
Looking for a job in the NBA. Dave, because you usually like to have this nailed, how long do you think this podcast is going to be today?
227.
Close. We are at 221 unedited. 221 unedited.
Okay. So probably like 215 then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe 215, maybe. I don't know how long we were sitting
Maybe
there
220.
before.
Still, dang.
Over 2 hours, Dave. Over 2 hours. When you said, "Oh, it's gonna be a nice 2 hours," and I was like, I thought we were gonna go for 3. I'll be honest.
I mean, look, there's guys at the end of the first round who, if you didn't hear us talk super in depth about, that's okay. We'll be live for the NBA draft on Tuesday,
June
the
23rd.
23rd. Thank you.
Dave's like, Ricky, come in and help me.
Yep.
I need an exact date.
Yes,
So
please.
we'll be live the 23rd. We'll then be recording our thoughts the next day, the second round day. We're not going to be live for the second round. I will give an updated schedule, tentative, because like what happened this week where there was weather.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, that did happen. We did lose a podcast because of weather.
We lost 2 days.
Yeah, but like, yeah, we did lose 2 days because we couldn't really record after that because
Back to backs.
Dave's like, I didn't. We had storms in, not out, just in.
Yeah.
So we've talked about it before. Our plan is to do a special Jake Nevergreen podcast this week. He's gonna let me know by tomorrow if he's good to do that or not. If we don't, Dave and I'll plan something, and then next Sunday, a week from today, it's basically I am going to be putting in tonight. Check out the Discord, guys. This is how you're going to be getting into it. Either Discord or if you want to be like J-Dub and Charlie, patrons also. The only thing is that I'm going to say is if you do it through Patreon, so like if J-Dub or Charlie submit, automatically gets on the show. If you don't do it through Patreon, there's a chance that maybe depending on how many we get to, we want to do a mailbag. We want you guys to ask us questions about what you guys think. What do you guys want us to talk about? That's going to be basically our rumors and everything, our just final thoughts before the draft. Want to be driven by you. So in the NBA chat, in our Discord, you can click the link down below to join it. It'll be pinned. You'll be able to see it. Put your questions in there, reply to that. We will be able to then showcase that, answer your questions live on that show. You can also submit them by becoming a Patreon and doing it that way. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, comment down below too what you think. Dave, any final thoughts?
Remember the buzzword that we gave you.
Putz. Dave's a putz. Oh man, Dave is a putz, guys, for leaving Kareem Lopez off. At least you called yourself out for it. At least you didn't go the whole time and you're just sitting there like, when did you officially notice it? Is my question.
Literally when I said it. You could
okay.
see it on my face, and then seconds later it was like, just wait for Ricky to finish talking, and I'm an idiot.
I didn't know if you like noticed it well before that and we're like stewing on it, and then after a while we're like, yeah, I should say something.
And the Knicks pick Kareem Lopez.
All right, guys. Hope you guys have a good one. As always, have a good day, everyone. It's the same fucking thing twice, Dave. After 2 hours, I can't get an outro right. You guys know what to do. We'll see you next time. Dave's all blurry. Now he's in focus. As always, we'd like to thank the people that make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you would like to become a patron, go ahead and click the Patreon icon in the bottom right. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Sports, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.